Guy's freaking slithery voice here for a minute. He's gonna actually talk about
baby, 3:30.
the reality here, the way they want you to see it.
Just woke up. I guess we'll see if Old Man Winters stayed up from yesterday morning when I ended my stream at, I guess, 5 a.m. I think it was later than that I ended, probably, or it was a 4.5 hour stream. Anyways, it wasn't showing up in my my playlist. So
okay,
listen
when you look at the foreign policy of the United States, Canada, Great Britain, nothing ever changes, guys. It doesn't matter who's in office, whether they're selected and placed there, like the bloodline that runs my country of Canada, Trudeau, dancing in front of a gay pride parade in Vancouver last week.
Just going to make a tea.
Meanwhile, he leaves, and my province of British Columbia is burning to the ground right
It's
now.
probably Monty himself.
Does the government fight fires? No, they don't do anything. They have Mars bombers that are grounded for maintenance every summer. Last summer, they actually had 2 grounded, and they leased one out to China. These guys, these politicians, they don't give a shit about your country. They're just here to frickin' destroy the world with bombing and other stuff. Whoever thinks that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are at all different, they're figureheads, man. The foreign policy, the bombs dropping, that's what's in control of this, man. War equals cash. But let's continue, because SGT says some pretty funny shit here in a minute.
In the White House. And I just don't understand why our detractors continue to say that.
Yeah, so the good thing about FK and Freddy's channel,
so let's begin the conversation about,
is that it's just straightforward, down to earth, 911.
And guys, one final note: this interview was recorded before YouTube terminated my channel.
Right.
Of course, before they brought it back online. And by the way, to those of you who are really truly sick in the head and believe that I took my own YouTube channel down and brought it back to garner sympathy or credibility.
Yeah, I got a Freddy video playing.
Or you're part of some cast on Steam.
I got a Freddy video playing in the back.
Adam, how are you?
Let me see.
I'm good.
Okay, before I give you any brain damage and listening to both of these freaking clowns, SGT, I guess you say that YouTube took your channel down. What was it? 24 hours, maybe 30, 36. Not sure exactly, but when you came back, you had 12,000 more subscriptions.
STD report,
baby. How do you gain subscriptions when your channel's down? Dude, you're...
See, the good thing about this video that Freddy did is it's kind of like my video with Lavoy Fullicum, where I'm just pointing out that the FBI doesn't release the drone tapes. I ain't telling you whether or not they shot anybody, man. I'm just saying within 1 hour after the FBI shoots a guy on the side of the road, they don't release everyone in the truck and the drone tapes to put on videos on YouTube so they go viral. So what Freddy's mentioning in this STD Reports video is that you don't get 12,000 new subs when you go down for 24 hours. Not whether or not it went down and came back up, which is very suspect. But the fact that the channel went down, and when it came back on 24 hours later, it had 12,000 more subs. So that's all he's pointing out. And I think it's a great damn video, man.
All the backing, all the crap, all the agendas you push. You're still pushing Q, dude.
These clowns push Q.
Anybody with a brain in their head.
And they want to come back as
shit, man, I was calling Q out in November. Right? All that Q did was take people's eyes off of Vegas, which was just totally hanky. And, yeah, man, you're what are you, 350, 360,000 subs now? And you push freaking corporations and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You're an e-beggar to the upteenth power, man. And, yeah, a lot of us do know that you took your channel down because you did. YouTube doesn't take down channels and then reinstate them in 24 hours. You guys all survived the purge because you work for the system. Enough said. If you guys want to see a really fucked up interview, here's a guy who does interviews on the beach. with people that are supposed to be, enlightened on 9/11, whose ex-wives actually work for Mossad, Israeli intelligence, man. Everyone, whenever you see anything on YouTube, do your own research. Because all these freaking actors here, they're all playing parts. They're all playing roles. Don't care if it's SGT, LTV. And you know what? They all start somewhere. There's guys with less subs than me that are
playing a role on YouTube. Let me tell you, man. It's like a banjo over here, man. You know what happened? On Friday nights 20, 30 years ago, people used to gather around a campfire, sing banjo songs. And in the U.S., it would keep everyone's hearts content, you know? Somehow, Elvis went away and so did the banjo. And people friggin' will say anything to get $1, man. I just went on this guy's straight drop chat live. This guy's got some Nightbot, $25 to advertise on his Nightbot a month. I mean, it's getting close to the end of YouTube, man, because what happens is that it gets disgusting. Like, you'll find that people that are straight up slandering people will be making money. Straight up pedophiles will be making money. All the lowest of the low will be making money, because it attracts a certain type of person. And a certain type of person gets to the top when money's included and involved. And it's not a good place to have 14-year-old children and 60-year-old men. That's not how money works. That's how prostitution works. So I think YouTube, the model, it's hurting, man. It's hurting. And now that the veil's been ripped away, and I'm not talking about lift the veil. I'm talking about the veil. This whole friggin', wonderful, they were promoting this website as the greatest thing since your grandparents in 2016. I mean, they were promoting this website on bus stops for kids to quit school and become YouTube creators. So, there's a lot. I mean, Americans are going to have to look around them and friggin' run for cover, man. There ain't going to be no saving what's left of America after YouTube and Google are done with it. And it ain't really YouTube. YouTube was just a cool website and a good idea. It's not Google. It's not YouTube. It's Google that sees what people are doing and moves in to intercept the traffic. And that's Google, man. And it ain't showing me that it has any good intentions over here in North America. So I got my my peace candle lit. Treach, nice to have you, buddy. And man, you're up late. I figured I'd get on here at 3:30. I know it's Friday night, so there's a lot of people up. But Monty definitely won't be up. The guy was up at 3 a.m. last night, from 3 to 6. So I'm only looking to avoid 5 or 6 people, man. I'll take the 2 trolls in Ireland and hand over the 20 trolls on YouTube. Woof. All these old, stinking, degenerative men that want to try and convince me that they're not working together and they're not just here to make money and they're not, some form of evil, money-grubbing losers. So, I'm not going to argue with these people for 10 years longer, until they friggin' drop dead off the internet. I'm just going to I'm going to change my my language from English to English England. Let me tell you, man, I'm going to friggin' leave USA in the dust. Going to get new subs on the other side of the pond. Because I ain't really interested in what's developed on social media out of America, well, out of USA server, is some kind of professional troll, man. It's pretty grimy as hell. So the money, the grime, that YouTube. Hey, J-Man. Nice to see you, man. Rise and shine. For you, it's 3 p.m. Forget about 3 a.m., man. I'm trying to get on this server in the middle of the night when these freaks in America are sleeping, you know, when the clowns that come in your chat and friggin', they don't like you even, but they come in your chat to make a name for themselves and to basically derail any sense of, you know, any sense of channel programming that you're going to do, where you have any kind of a you want to do something on your channel. Well, these guys will come and make sure it doesn't happen. So my best advice is to just ignore these losers, because ain't nobody like them anymore. I mean, except for other loser channels. So I'm taking notes, man. Santa Claus has a long list. China 3's got a list. It's long, man. It's long. I mean, I haven't actually started putting names down on it, but I guess I should start making a list and start throwing names on it, so that like this clown Game Over and the other clowns that were in my chat the other night with Monty. And I'll have to come back and deal with those clowns once Monty's gone and all the wind is friggin' blown out of their sails. What's up, Tidor? What's up? See, it is working, man. It is working. I got Australia in the house. I got New Zealand in the house. I got it all, man. Soon I'm gonna have my favorite subscriber, Rach, from the UK. And when I say favorite, I mean, just, you know, don't go over and harass these people. I mean, these are people they I mean nothing to them. I just say they're my favorite. It's just some icon I recognize. So it's not favorite like we've known each other for the 5 years that I've been being harassed by these clowns. So don't bother jumping on board and start harassing her. So yeah, I was watching these two Freddy videos. Man, Freddy's good, man. He's got a good style. Like it's very straightforward. And yeah, I'm real thankful that it's not easy to judge anybody, have any type of friend, any type of person on YouTube, especially American. They're really vague and they're hard to friggin' put a finger on, man. Whether the guy in America is scamming you, whether he's this hardened scammers. I mean, Quebec is the telemarketing scam central of North America. Quebec, Montreal. But America, oh my God. Americans will say anything for money now. I mean, they've reached the bottom of the barrel, man. Bottom of the barrel as far as I'm concerned. And if Canada could rent out its friggin' bombers, its fire bomber planes to China, I mean, China could buy its own fire bomber, can build its own. It's a fucking country, man. It could buy a plane, renting our planes. And when you rent a plane, you know it's not available for the people that did buy it. And I didn't know, you know, Canada was in the U-Haul business, you know, where we're renting things out for you know, if someone needs something, they're in another country, you go help them, man. You start fucking renting things to other countries, and they're gonna rent things back to you. What do you think this is, like a corner store with a bunch of freaking homes on the street over here? If your country can't afford to friggin' save its own people with a bomber, and then you go to you renting out equipment that countries need, man, we getting pathetic, man. No, ain't nobody renting Tomahawk missiles off another one, man. Everyone have their own friggin' bombers and jets and F-16s. Everyone bought their own F-16s, but you know, nobody bought their own water bombers. You know, give me a break, man. Give me a break. It's the priority is that they just want to spend all the money and ask for more. That's the priority. So YouTube's a wonderful model for the New World Order. Basically a bunch of losers shamelessly self-promoting each other and friggin' leeching off of each other. And Man, it's almost like China and the U.S. and Canada. So, yeah, I went live in my car today, and that was pretty cool. First time I ever went live with my, what's it called on your phone when you have a, one of those little self-networks, you make a hotspot. Yeah, so basically you could run a hotspot off your cell phone, and it's compressing pretty good, the live data. It's a lot better than it was 2-3 years ago. So I'm driving around, man, it's not chirping at all. I'm on a cellular data package. I mean, you could not live stream on cellular data packages friggin' 4 years ago. Like, this is all like, you know, all this uploading onto YouTube only started after they went to G3G. Like, people were not able to upload, you know, long ass videos easily before, up until people had high speed, or if you were in the Silicon Valley and you had 4G already back 10 years ago. So everyone else, YouTube, that's coming to YouTube now, believes YouTube's always been like this. It's never had TV stations. It's never had the UFC. Okay, UFC came, and the TV comes right after UFC. That's how it went with Dish Networks too. Okay, UFC came on Dish Networks, and Dish Networks went down. Okay, UFC is, they are all about making money on their pay-per-view, and that's a model that YouTube loves, because they're easy to friggin', you know, when you're studying something like the pay-per-view and it's only for an hour, and you develop a programming that can take down channels as they're uploading any type of stream that has to do, like, they're basically, the algorithm is looking at your video while it's uploading it, and rejecting it if it's anything UFC, on a UFC. I mean, that's pretty advanced shit, man. I mean, it wasn't able. Now, when you play music in the background, I mean, you can, you know, there's programs that tell any song. I mean, that wasn't like that 10 years ago, man. Give me a break. So all these, you know, advancements with the algorithms being able to read and hear what's being said in the videos and charge back money to these other people, well, that is a lot to that's a lot of the reason why YouTube is changing the way that it is and becoming more of a money grubbing website. And soon the people, the individuals that are not money grubbing, will be pushed aside by the networks and the money grubbers. So all the people that got on board with the model that they got now, that introduced the TV, these people are all waiting for more money. So you'll see Tracy Beans and her style of YouTubing. These people are all sellouts, man. And I made a video yesterday. It was pretty funny, you know, because, I mean, these people are friggin', you know, they're showing items on there, and then they're friggin' selling the items on eBay instead of giving them to their subscribers, man. These people are pure criminals. As far as the government's concerned, I'm quite sure that nobody's paying any type of revenue tax on any of these donations. And they ain't donations when you got a channel that's monetized and you sitting there freaking begging for donate. That your job. Your job is basically to pretend you a non-profit and beg for donations. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube, man. I think there's a total break between people that get on YouTube and join up with this pattern of thinking and the regular people. You know, they figure because they're on YouTube they can have a chat bot that charges $25 a month and throws up friggin' advertising in your chats on your channel. I mean, and the channel that I'm watching that's doing this is basically a troll channel. I mean, you know, I met a guy at the secondhand store yesterday, a very interesting dude, and he was a Jewish guy, and he was from another era. You know, he's maybe from 10 years ago when people used to get together and protest, you know, and they would do when it first started, writing the you know, everyone signs a petition. You know, when the petition started back in Facebook, oh, we're gonna get a petition to the White House, this is gonna work. And now everyone wastes time filling out petitions, and it's just another way for your government to get all kinds of people to sit down and put their name on a list, and then they can watch you. Yeah, the petition gang. Well, that didn't work either. Just like the YouTube against the government is not going to work, well, the petition against the government didn't work either. Now, if you go and sign petitions, man, I mean, you just go ahead, go on Facebook, man. There's 200 petitions that you can sign tonight and get things done for everybody else. So I was talking to this guy. I should have done a video at my secondhand store, because unlike Dave Acton, who pretends he's a friggin' barrister, unlike, you know, Monograph, 60-year-old dude pretends he's the Illuminati, people, you know, me at the secondhand, everybody knows at the secondhand, well, not everybody, but a lot of people know at the secondhand store that I'm the sheriff of YouTube. Because I wear, like, yesterday I was wearing a Beavers hat. I should have bought it. It was only $2. It was a little Beavers hat. I was wearing it around the store because I used to have one when I was like 10 years old. So I was wearing this little mini Beavers hat, talking to people. And then, you know, there's this guy, and he has some shirt on about Israel and Palestine, you know, and he's a Jew against the position of the Zionists. And the Zionist position is basically that they don't need property deeds. They just take land. And they're going to take everyone's land after they take the Palestinians' land. Don't think that God didn't chosen one for one spot on the planet, for one little pinhole in the middle of the friggin' desert, okay? When you're the chosen one and you start taking little spots and people let you and don't say nothing and da-da-da, well, the rest of the world, once you get that little spot, the rest of the world is also your chosen, you're the chosen one, fools. So that whole chosen, it wasn't that popular as it is today, where it's just something that nobody talks about. So it was interesting to meet a guy from 10 years ago that used to do petitions and knows Naomi Campbell and knows all these, not Naomi Campbell, Naomi something or other, some Jewish lady that speaks out against them. But it's cool to meet people like that, you know? And you see that with your own eyes what working on YouTube is going to effectively do in the way of, you know, persuading people to do the right thing. It ain't going to happen on YouTube, man. And if I turned and became a grimy e-begging scammer, I would have more followers quicker than the position I'm taking now. Because, unfortunately, the other position to the e-beggar position is that you don't want anybody to make any money. And they push that on you. And so people don't really want that either. Yeah, people don't want that. Sorry, I saw Tretch was asking me a question about Monograph. Or not me, maybe he was asking somebody else. Good, J-Man, perfect timing, man. 5:30 p.m. Welcome to friggin' YouTube, boys and girls. This is when the normal people are on. Don't bother coming on YouTube during the day, America time, because it's festering with, basically, there ain't no more you in YouTube. There's a bunch of TV stations. Alex Jones that controls, like, 40% of the good channels, the big channels in the TWOOF movement. And the 40 that ain't controlled by him, well, they really panhandling. They got their pans out. They got a big sticker on their forehead says InfoWars. They're standing at a bus stop and they're waiting for him to send a ticket. And that goes for UNRIG, that goes for Lift the Veil, that goes for Defango, that goes for all those people over there. They all are praying that they get called up by Alex Jonesenstein. So, the reality is that the real internet is rejecting that guy again. You know, he was already rejected in 2016. He's getting re-rejected. So now, I don't know where they're going to put him. They already put him on satellite and he came back. Now they're going to have to put him on something else. And he's going to leak back in to give you more bogus information about, you know, imagine people that are tuning into Alex Jones as a news channel. With those, I mean, the people that he has on his channel, I clowned them already when they were on YouTube before he hired them. I used to clown Joe Biggs. I used to clown him on Twitter, man, before friggin' all these old losers went on Twitter. So, yeah, it was weird. Once, you know, they moved towards hiring Joe Biggs, and he went over, man, Twitter went south, man, right after that. It was like right after 2014, man, Twitter was worthless. I mean, it was worthless after 2013. But it really became a disinformation. I mean, once old people get to a website, it derails it from being the authentic, you know, kids, students, contact, communication. And basically, it just becomes, you know, first of all, once adults get there, man, all of a sudden it's a friggin' amazing website, and there it is. It's on the stock market. It's you know, it's gone public, and then you got millions of dollars floating around, and everything you see on the website after is all about generating money. That's what websites are for now, it seems. So. Defending myself against trolls, good day, my friend. What was it? You had a comment for me the other day, and I remember that name, saying, making a comment on one of my, oh, there it is. I'm not wasting my time on the Canadian troll. There you go. You didn't take you long, man. I just said hello, and, yeah, well, I love my, hell, man, over here in Canada, man, we got all kinds of friggin' social services and friggin' job services, and let me promise you, man, the worst thing to do in Canada or America is pretty much nowadays, and you can ask any small business owner, is to work for yourself. I mean, I don't care how much money your neighbor in Amway is pretending he's got, and he's wearing on his ring finger. He got a lot of credit, man. He ain't got no more money. I mean, you're better off to work for the government than to work for yourself nowadays. I'm just saying, kids. I mean, go work for yourself and see. It's better to have a casual enslavement, as some people call it, than to be some kind of a friggin' what do they call them, entrepreneur. Go try and be an entrepreneur nowadays with the way everything is digital. Back in the day, entrepreneurs used to make money because they used to have, it wasn't, you know, they would get all the money and the government wouldn't see all the money, and they could spend a lot of money on different things, and they could put you know, entertainment down as business expenses. Well, that stuff all stopped, man. They've just been hiring more and more IRS agents. So there is no more small, and well, in the States it's better than Canada. Let's say Canada is pretty much socialist country, man. Like I pay 50% tax on my income. So enjoy America. I think you guys are down around 30% tax. You know, in Canada we pay, you know, basically a 25 to 40% income tax, and then we have a 15%, you know, GST, so goods and services tax at purchase that we pay with the money that we were taxed when we were paid our salary. So the only people that are really enjoying Canada are the people that is just getting straight money. And I mean it ain't enjoyable to not work, but it is casual enslavement. And basically you're a pure slave if you're working for yourself nowadays. I mean, you can't even get a bank loan if you're self-employed. At least if you work for the government, you can go to any bank and get a bank loan. And you can operate with their monetized system where nobody don't have no money. That's why the prices are so high. Everyone buying with credit. So when you look to buy a house at $500,000-$600,000, you wonder, like, how the hell did everyone else buy the house? Well, they didn't buy the house at those crazy prices, and they don't even own the house, and they bought the house at $100,000. So half of them got remortgaged to owe $500,000 on the house, and that's how the Ponzi scheme moves ahead. And you know, credit's cool for the government. It helps them look good because people look like they're doing all right. You know, a lot of people in life are frauds. You know, they try and look the opposite of what they are. So that's how that goes with credit. You end up with a lot of people that borrowed money to look as good as they can, and they gotta pay back all that shit, man. They're paying interest on that, on their suit and tie. So it becomes a very, very, you know, superficial environment when you start throwing in millions and billions of dollars of credit on top of the economy. I mean, it's not even, we don't even, I'm sure if they pulled all the credit cards out of Canada and America, there would be no more economy. That's how pathetic these countries have become. So, as we can see, you know, the government's selling things and renting planes. I mean, when does the government ever lower your taxes or tell you you're getting a bonus this year because they made extra money selling bitumen? You don't. That's how the government works. There's no privilege for you as a Canadian to partake and share in the wealth of Canada like Canada's supposed to be doing with the natives. Because the natives, they got a treaty, and they're supposed to be, the Canadian government, when it sells shit, well, it's supposed to share that money with the natives. It's not supposed to, the natives don't get no welfare. The natives are share in the wealth of the government of Canada, even though the Canadian population are brain dead and have been trained, because, you know, that's how they slaughtered the Indian, that they know good. Well, if you look at who's really the welfare recipients, it ain't them. And that's the irony of today's modern day, is that we got everyone running around believing that the opposite of the truth is what's going on. And it's sad, you know. Good to look at the Indians to see what your government will eventually do to you, because it was the government's job to protect those people. And you can see that on many reserves in Canada, they don't even have clean water, man. They have shacky type houses that look like they're falling down in the modern age, and they got to live through winter. And the government of Canada makes lots of money, enough to pay hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in salaries. So go figure. You know, when you see a native person and they're struggling, man, don't think that you're smart and that you didn't help them along with that, with your little system. And you know, I'm not saying throw all your money down, but don't just throw people away like they're worthless. That's you know, the predicament of all the people around you in society are a result of your own society, not of that one individual. And yeah, you know, I was in we got a little town near my house. It's called Ville Saint Pierre, and it's Saint Henry, little suburbs of Montreal. You know, like the city of Montreal's got about 21 suburbs. And there's a mural in there for the natives, you know, because a lot of natives come down in the winter, in the summertime, if they got to go to a hospital or something. And there's little community centers and I guess group homes that they go stay in, you know, and then you'll drive by and you'll see there's like 20 or 30 natives. And but modern day natives, like, not, you know, wearing normal clothes, you can just tell from their body type, body shape, the Inuit, or they from up north, you know, Iqaluit. And there was a sign up and it said Two-Spirit people are the are important to the Native people. And then when they're talking about Two-Spirit people, they're talking about their gay and lesbian members of their community. It's much different. You know, it's weird, and I was thinking about it a little bit, and it's like in those societies, you know, there are people that are born, and you can see that no matter what is in their environment, they're still gay, or no matter what, and you know, and societies cherish these type of people and have for the longest time. But I just want to point out what we have here in America is a blasphemous version of that. It's basically kids that are 15 that are told that you might be gay, you should test it out with another boy, and vice versa probably with the girls. But it's very important with the boys that once you test out, you are no longer able to say that you are not gay when you're a man and you've been fiddling with other men. Even that is the sad truth about when children are molested by men and their boys. It ruins their entire life. In most cases, it's something that as a grown man you can't accept that you didn't do anything, but you were unable to do anything as a child. So just remember that there are communities where these things, you can look to them and see a normal, helpful evolution of all people inside of a community, and they're loved, and they're, you know, and the community accepts them and reaches out to them, and it's not easy for them either, but you can see a different kind of love towards them. And then what you have in America and in Canada and Europe now, and in all these countries in the Middle East, you got kids wearing these skinny jeans with their pants falling down just like in America, and listen to rap music. So it won't be long. And it's sad. It's sad because a lot of times it's just something to do with here in North America, instead of having some kind of grandparents or some kind of traditional, you got the government and the internet training your children. And the schools ain't no better than the internet. I mean, so that's just a little something that you know, I was thinking of, and I was thinking about how over the last 20 years, like, it didn't get better. I mean, it might have become more mainstream, but the way it came mainstream with people and and you know, this promotion of at such a young age, like we're talking about, they're promoting this stuff with Disney. So don't hate yourself as an individual for not doing enough, because it must be part of the plan to, you know, to gain an advantage over people in a few generations. And you know, there's just not enough people with enough foresight that can prevent sometimes evil from, you know, from our society to gain a footing, and then to move and to take control, man, and to present things within the society in a way that's different than they actually are. So 20 years later, man, there are cause and effect to all these things, and we're gonna see, just like we're seeing now in North America, you know, the government's been convinced to friggin', you know, you need immigrants because their population's dying. Look, and they show you the numbers. You know, I mean, there was once not this many people on the planet, and the planet was fine too. So don't worry, the numbers. When they're looking at all these numbers, and you're looking over, I mean, I hope you really can count and have not just been, you know, convinced in school to use your calculator. Because if you can't count and can't do math in your head, and when people start telling you numbers, and you need to have a paper to write down one side and the other, and do a line down the middle and figure out what the answer is, well, you ain't going to be able to figure out on the fly what people are saying and what's really going on. And so that's it. that's why, you know, I speak out. I just kind of like see this stuff, and I'm a bit, maybe 5 years ahead of my time, you know, and I always been. So that's why I already knew when I came to YouTube 5 years ago, and I used to chirp about, I'm only here to watch YouTube become the TV, man. I don't know about you guys. I'm not trying to get that money. I see what's going on here. You guys are a bunch of frauds. And then sure enough, it's what's happened. And all these clowns are like, oh, yeah, we had the foresight of, you know, Alex Jones shared my channel and the rah. That ain't authentic growth, nothing, man. You want authentic on YouTube, man? It's the guy ain't got no subs because YouTube and the little YouTube friggin' demons, they didn't let him gain any traction. They didn't, you know, I got plenty of GoFundMes that I made, one after the other. These clowns friggin', they love money so much. That's all they do. There's like a whole wing of the trolls that just basically don't allow you to make any kind of money off social media. And that's why when they put pressure on me, man, all I do is I just think about where the money is, where the money's going, and friggin' what, you know, how can I interfere with all that money? That's all I think about over here, man, with these old friggin' dudes that are 60. That's pretty much all, that's all they understand is their money. And you know, you see Richie from Boston running around, I didn't upload for 10 days. Blah, 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 blah. You know, that guy, every item that he brings on his show, that he does a little infomercial on, like he turn around and sell that shit on eBay, man. He doesn't give that away to his fans. He doesn't, you know, he does like a good person would probably do a show and then give this shit away. They wouldn't turn around and hush sell it on eBay. And none of these people are making declarations, man. None of these people, man. They're grimy, man. They're grimy. That's how come nobody can't compete beside them, because of the griminess. And you know, I'm telling you, a lot of these people are gonna fail in real life, man, based on their activities on YouTube. Because the way that they act on YouTube, I can tell you, these are not good people, man. These are degenerative people. And once they get in face, you gotta stop telling lies and tell the truth and show the books, show the numbers, you know. It's like they all money for nothing, man. They PayPal. You think when money goes into your bank account that these guys are organized enough? Like a Richie from Boston's organized enough to have a spreadsheet, would you know, paying the government all their share of his money, because the government's your partner in Canada and the U.S. I know in Canada people don't believe so. I mean, in the U.S. they don't believe so. But since you're right next to Canada, I'll tell you how it goes. Well, when you're in business and the government's doing really good, well, you're their partner. When the government's not doing so good, well, the government pretends like you're the big shot and they give you good rates. But at all times, the government they want their piece, man, of the action. And so, I don't know, it's kind of, for me, I don't have anything to worry about any type of money, about any type of income. I'll show you all my emails for anytime anyone's made me a donation, Monograph has canceled the fundraiser. So, I don't have anything to worry about with respect to stealing. So, and you know, when you're getting things, when you're selling them behind the scenes, when you're acting like you're helpful to people and you're not, and then people just get a disdain for you, man, and it's just a matter of time for these people, like STD Report, Tracy Beans, Richie from Boston. Like, this is the old YouTube, like before the TV. And the TV's not even going to want these people around. Like, they're going to try and stay around because they really believe there's something on YouTube, you know? Like, they're a part of YouTube because they got all these subs. But they're no more a part of YouTube than me with 97 subs. I'm more a part of YouTube than Tracy Beans, for sure. And I've been here longer. I think the only one out of those jokers that's been here longer than me is Richie from Boston. So, yeah, Richie from Boston's a part of YouTube. And used to be a normal YouTuber, just like me and you. And then when you give someone an advantage and you tell them this and that, and then they see that the advantage is, it's all fairy tales. It's all basically networking, man. It's insider trading. it ruins them. As instead of standing up and saying something, and they get more and more money, and then they go along with the program. Well, you can't turn around after that. You involved with them, and so when you do turn around, you lose everything, even the little bit of money that you would have had. You lose it all. So they don't, and then they promote each other. And over time, because other people are making videos here, they just lose traction for being, that's all they're about, and then people stop tuning into their channel. And you don't have to do anything, man. That's all going to happen naturally for Richie from Boston. I mean, the guy's a buffoon on video. The other day, he was following some guy through the mountain. It was like a mountain pass, man. I felt like I was a Swami over in friggin' the Alps, He's got his truck, man, and these tires are like for mud driving, and he's up on some friggin' hillside. I mean, whatever, man. These guys are risking their lives, man, driving their trucks on ridges like that. And I was happy to see that, man. I was friggin' saying, man, watch for rock slides, Richie. But going to his bug out place, I mean, this is freaking cool, man. But I've got to tell you, man, you might as well make a YouTube channel and say, I'm bugging out for 2 months to make a test, because you ain't really ever going to bug out. There's not going to be a chance when everything collapses, man. You think the people around you, the 90% of the population that are drones, want everything to collapse? There's only like a few people that don't have money in the bank and don't own property anywhere and don't have anything that's written to their name in any kind of legal document that want the world to end, or the economy to collapse. Because it's just pure madness when there's a collapsed economy. Like, people starve in the street. 60% of the population can't take care of itself without the population, like without the government. Probably 30% of your population on food stamps. Maybe not 30, but they say 12 or 14%, but it's way higher than what the government tells you. So the fact that RFB's driving through the mountains, can't get no cell signal, doing videos, I mean, I'm glad he can't upload videos for 10 days. I mean, what could be better? I mean, if I would have noticed that, I would have had a 10-day party over here on YouTube. But, it's funny when you're friends with these people, because Richie from Boston's one of my friends from before, just like PK Truth is one of my friends. People that I kind of, when I started YouTube, that were here on YouTube, that I watched before I became a YouTube I Am creator. Actually, they ain't really I Am creators in the same sense. Like, I became an I Am creator in 2015 when they started with that program, and and you have to take all kinds of courses, and you have to do all kinds of stuff, and you get promoted, and those channels went away. But I don't care, man. They took down my I Am creator channels, but I'm a real I Am creator. So these other people, man, they ain't the fabric of diddly, man. They basically just some clowns that coming on YouTube and gaming the system. So Richie from Boston is going to shamelessly promote that there's the end of the world coming, because when he goes on these trips and he starts meeting his bug out people, man, he's just trying to sell more bug out bags. And that's an angle from Richie, and he's gonna when he can't get no phone calls and nobody don't want to come on his show anymore, like now, like ain't nobody gonna pay money to get on Richie's show and be trolled by the entire truth movement. So the Rachel Reinstrap was likely the last person that Richie's gonna be able to get to pay to get on his show, because they all see what happened. They don't want that type of traction. They don't want the Rachel Reinstrap type of traction. They want the STD report type of traction, where you get in and nobody in the truth watches his shows anymore. Nobody. It's like it's like tuning into AMTV or any of the Alex Jones little cronies that he puts on, like these weird dudes that stand in his studio and make videos. I mean, go for it, man. Go for it. Takes all kinds to make a web server popular, you know. Yeah, game over. If you see him in the chat, man, just friggin', you know, just keep timing him out until he... What I do with my chats now is I try and promote that all the trolls that are awake in the middle of the night, they come here and they trigger themselves in the chat, and then I just start timing them out, and we try and keep them in the chat for at least, you know, 2,400 seconds, and that's 2,400 seconds less that they have to create or bother other IM creators. So bring it on, man. I mean, it just adds... The people in my chat at this point... Hey, Freddy, there he is, man. Hey, I featured one of your videos. Freddy, I'm telling you, I listened to your video today. It's a real pleasure, man, to listen to a straightforward, down-to-earth guy talking. And it really is... I'm really blessed to have someone like you making videos, and then I watch a video and I say, Jesus, Murphy, man, it's cut and dry with the way that you put things forward. And I like the way that you were pointing out that the STD reports got 12,000 subs in a night versus, you know, it's always good when something doesn't make sense to you as an analyst, to look at the one thing that just, what is it that your mind can't swallow, that it's not possible? And whatever that is that's causing you, if you can, you know, make that into, put that forward in a video, that's what's caused you to see something in this, other people will look. Some people can't do that. They see something that doesn't make sense, but they don't know what it is that makes sense. I mean, it's very good that you can do that. You know, you see around the full story, and you see the one problem in the story that caused when you looked at it, for it not to be possible. And that's what I do, folks. That's what I do. I don't really try and beat the whole story. I don't try and beat the entire FBI's programming with Malheur. I just point out to people that the real FBI, when they're following criminals in a car chase, and then the criminals blow the friggin' they make a police line in the road, do not pass, you know, what is that, roadblock, and they blow the roadblock into a snowbank, and the drone tape cuts away for 3 seconds, and when it cuts back, the truck is flipped over and the guy is jumping out, but the truck's upside down and he's jumping out straight side up, like as if it's friggin' normal. So alright, truck tires spinning in the wind, spinning in the snow. The whole storyline makes perfect sense if you watch it like it's a movie. But if you look at it and you analyze it and you realize, wait a minute, the FBI had the drone tapes on a zip drive, and they gave them to Mark McConnell to go release on YouTube when they let him out an hour later. And that's all. And then you just go on with the story, man. Okay, Finnecum's real, man. Sure, they killed the guy on the side of the road and released the video an hour later so that it would go viral on YouTube. And then they could have a fake revolution again this year, like they did, like the clowns on YouTube did for 3 years in a row with their constitutional movement, you know, with their Kessler. In 2012, it was Kessler with a gun, standing on a friggin' billboard telling people he was going to get Muslims. And the guy turned out he was basically working for Israel. He just basically a rat. Basically disinformation and propaganda and the poster boy for it. And he left YouTube and never came back. He burned his bridges on YouTube, and he was one of Pete Santilli's friends. So you know, they evolved from not going over the edge like Kessler and then getting busted for recruiting people to join some kind of a friggin' religious army. And the hate around a lot of these groups, man, just makes it obvious that it's a government friggin' just a honey trap. It ain't even really a militia you guys got over there. You got a bunch of friggin' frauds and like a handful of real militia people that don't realize that everyone else around them is a fraud. And as soon as they make a plan to do anything, even to protect themselves or their family. Well, the government knows all about it, and they ain't really. It better all be above board and be more like. There better not be anything the government doesn't like when you're making your plans, because they know about them. If you're in any kind of these groups, they've all been infiltrated, man. As far as I'm concerned, you want to bug out and do all these things, don't tell Richie from Boston, and don't bring the entire friggin' YouTube. If the world comes to an end, I'm going to go to that bug out spot that I saw Richie from Boston crossing. That's where I'm going to go. Hey, there's a good spot, man. And if you're going to bug out, man, you're going to spend 10 years building a friggin' camp in the woods, man. You better not tell Richie from Boston. Jesus Christ. Yeah, let me open this window here so I can see the chat. And yeah, so don't screw up. If you're from Canada or the US, well, it's a good thing because Freddie's from the West Coast, so he's 3 hours ahead. So if I do a show at 3 a.m., that's okay, man. It's only 12 o'clock. He's not taking away. But let me tell you, if I'm doing shows from 3 to 6 a.m. and you're from America, from the East Coast, and you're staying up with me, you ain't going to be doing no content between 8 and 6. Just because of the fact that I'm keeping you up. I'm helping YouTube twoof by making the trolls stay up all night, all morning, and then they're not effective during the day. So you're going to all notice that there'll be less trolling during the day. Let me share this on my my main page. I'm going to set up my text-to-speech so that I can hear people talking in the background. I'm just opening the window here. I love it, man. I love it. I got more trolls, man. They're all up at night. Love it. So yeah, if people do YouTube just for likes and just for money, they don't really do it. Nothing really inside that makes you want to actually be on this website. It's not. You probably won't enjoy it, or you'll just end up doing it for money or doing it for one of those reasons, because it's overpowering over here. But good old China to 3, man. I was here before it was even people even liked doing YouTube or thought it was even cool, because there was people that were, you know, pretending that it was cool. So I was here a long time. I actually am here. This is like a video diary for me. So even if, you know, even if I had all trolls and everybody didn't like me in the twoof movement, man, I would just find another movement and make fun of the twoof movement from somewhere else. I'm on YouTube because I want to be here. I didn't come here because I was following advertisements. So regardless of what the trolls believe, and it doesn't matter how many join up together behind Monograph and Laz and his friend now. I heard they were doing a live stream last night, and I told, I think it was Treach, or someone came over and, no, it was We Are TV, We Are Free TV came over and said, oh, they're doing a live stream on so-and-so's channel, the RV channel. And so, you know, you got the RV channel doing the Bonsai channel, and they had on the Sasquatch channel. Okay, story's done, man. Those 3 clowns are friggin', they're out of their element, man. One of them's got to friggin' get back in his RV and go do some RV videoing. The other one's got to go back to his tent, grow some more bonsais, man. The summer's gonna come. You're gonna want to sell some bonsais. And the last guy there, Mr. Sasquatch and Mr. Flat Earth and Mr. going around the twoof movement, inspiring other channels to make themselves Sasquatch LARP channels and Flat Earth LARP channels, and then to actually, you know, go overboard and pretend you're Flat Earth and say this is all part of the program, so you can just be friggin' balled up with all of them. Basically just disinfo that parrots to the main channels that are making people parrot retarded information, like the Justin Woolley story. Imagine you go home and you try and tell your parents what's going on YouTube, and you're describing Justin Woolley. Yeah, that was last year, man. That was the end of that Christmas dinner. This year on Christmas, I bet you don't even get an invitation to go to the party. That's how the TWOOF movement works. Adelaide, what's up, yo? Freddie's giving the fingers. Man, yeah, hey, man, if the Tour de France, I'm going to start going around and holding up friggin' signs, man, that say YouTube TWOOF. Mark my freaking words, okay? You're going to see me on the mainstream news with a friggin' placard that says YouTube with the button, and then underneath it's just going to say TWOOF with a big exclamation point, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to be more famous than Q, okay? I'm going to friggin' get everyone to believe there's some kind of friggin' mysterious TWOOF movement of geniuses down here that are ready to friggin' govern. I mean, get rid of all governments and just let YouTube TWOOF be in charge. Just imagine, okay? Just for a minute, imagine that the economy is collapsing, you know, and we look around and we say, okay, let's all make a decision right here, and then global, you know, and here, we won't say globally, but in North America, in America, people say, okay, yeah, we're going to elect YouTube to be our leaders, and then YouTube's going to choose, you know, who are we going to, we got all these channels, who's going to be the leader out of all these channels, you know, and who would you promote as a leadership role out of any of these channels or any of these people that are operating like as if they got something going here on the interwebs? You know, is there anybody on this platform that has, you know, not in the truth department, man? I mean, I guess there are good people on YouTube, and, you know, I just haven't found them. I just don't see them down here at the bottom of YouTube. So I mean, I guess I gotta just keep on pivoting, man, until I find a pocket of these good people, and then I can actually stay in that pocket and not worry about, you know, the Roy Potter pocket where now they're against you. But Roy Potter unfortunately was one of the first people that promoted Tracy Bean's QAnon STD reports, and he's an old dude, man. LDS, man. I mean, you're talking about a generation gap between him and the internet. Forget about him and YouTube. I mean, most people his age are definitely not on the internet with channels as in a leadership channel role. There's very few and far between. And in the future, you're gonna have androids that are famous for 60 years, but humans, you won't have many, because nowadays everything's recorded. When you screw up online and people got videos of it, well, it doesn't go away. When you promote ridiculous things like QAnon, and this old man doesn't realize it, but when you do promote things like QAnon nowadays, well, you don't come back, man. There is no coming back from half of this bullshit. But they got on board believing there is a comeback because they've seen people come back over the last 10 years. But that was 10 years ago. It's not going to work anymore. People are less and less willing to believe what they're told. That's how it is, man. And yeah, April Lejeune and Roy Potter. I mean, now there's a show, man. Like, let's try and make this happen, Freddie. We'll start, you know, you'll start promoting Roy Potter as the groom, and I'll start promoting her as the bride, and then we'll meet over on STD Reports in the live chat on one of his shows, and we'll promote the idea that we have the greatest marriage, YouTube marriage. It's all set up. Everyone wants it. Bring their avatars together, and we'll get STD reports to be the priest or whatever to do the to perform the eulogy or whatever it is people do when they get married. I call it a eulogy. Yes. So God bless Roy Potter. You gotta friggin' love anybody that's over 65 and that's on YouTube, man. They are an amazing person from their generation. So 65 is not 45, kids. I mean, if they're 65, that means they had to go to school sometime. They were 15 years ahead of any kind of knowledge about the internet. So basically they knew about farming, and then 15 years later they had to go back to school and learn about DOS program or DOS and computers, and maybe they didn't even go back for any of that stuff, and they just knew emails back in the 90s, and then they coming around now with their smartphone to do YouTube. Man, this is amazing, man. So you gotta go easy on them. But once you start making videos about a person and the character and what they do online and what they promote, that's terminal, man. Especially if they promoted Q or Cicada or any of these things, man. Benghazi as them being the Illuminati that hacked Benghazi. If they promote any of these things, man, they ain't ever coming back from that, man. Because I got them promoting that, and those things are provably, misinformation 10 years later. So unfortunately, it's best to just have your own ideas on YouTube and only say your own ideas and not promote your friends' ideas, especially not if they in a multi-channel network setting, because they looking for money more than they looking for respect, and a long-term respect comes from telling the truth. And obviously these channels, they are developed around telling whatever gets them views. They're not if telling the truth made them money, they would all tell the truth. It's not that they don't care whether it's the truth or fables. They just speak towards the money. That's it. So it's not like they're trying to lie to you. They're trying to make money. There's a big difference in these people's minds of what they're doing when they're deceiving you. Because deceiving a person and not getting any money to them would be pure, lying and deception. But the fact that they're getting paid, well, they're acting and they're promoting ideas that are getting them, and they have influence that gains them money from promotion of ideas they know are false. And that's the YouTube mindset. Teleprompter. Oh, does April Lejeune have a teleprompter? Who's April Lejeune, man? I don't even know about these. Is this one of his sidekicks, man? He's got some girl that comes on there with a teleprompter, and the old dude and the girl with the teleprompter do a show. Jesus Christ, man! I mean, it's like the convoy. A lot of older people need to have need to see an old face and have it understood from their point of view for them to take it as credible. They don't want to hear anything from a young person. That's how the government's worked its way into our society and worked its way around traditional values. So older people with gray hair don't want to hear advice from young people with blue hair or pink hair. They don't listen. But when a person that's visibly older speaks to them, well, then that's who those people are looking for online to get their message from. So as you get to be older, you do have an advantage on YouTube, except that you're old time, you're old in ways are easily engineered against you by your own friends that are promoting LARP for cash. And that's what you have, what appears to be happening with Roy Potter, is that he was all happy to be on board with the trending accumulation of shameless subs from bullshit. And then when people like me call it out long enough, and people like Freddie that have been calling out Q since November, well, then they get it to a point where everyone realizes that it's bullshit, and then they got to move away from it, and they don't want to give up everything that they gain, so they stand up against it. I mean, you know, 9 months later, you're standing up against something. After it's already done, it's run its course and done its damage. Like, how long did you think Q was going to last? These stupid friggin' deciphering, with idiots deciphering it. And spending 6 months with your countrymen all focused on Q, I mean, that is what they're doing. That's exactly, and when people come to the internet, the most advanced technology to find a solution for these problems in society, well, they get Q. And they get clowns like Roy Potter that came here and promoted Q, and now they recognize that Q is complete BS, and the only thing it can do is do what I was doing before and talk out against it. But once again, I have all the videos, maybe not all the videos from Q, because I wasn't on YouTube for that time. This whole Q thing happened, I just came back and heard about Q, and I was just looking at the Fango, and then I just had to figure out where Q came from, and I could see it was coming from Cicada. Because there's not that many people doing puzzles and doing mysterious shit from anonymous sources other than Cicada. That's Cicada's big angle over here on YouTube, is that they are the original Anon of YouTube. They're the anonymous type group behind the scenes that have been manipulating YouTube and YouTube creators to promote all these, you know, money-making ideas for their promotional, for the people that promote them. They get subs by promoting them. And then when the storyline, like Q goes, you know, Q is terminal. Cicada was almost terminal. But they were able to, you know, they got so many views out there and so many people making money off of it that they just spun the story a bit that they're helping kids, you know, develop a better way to analyze things. You know, you follow the Cicada group and, man, you're going to be an investigator. Yeah, and then they're going to have you investigating Pizzagate. And these people are all working together, and all of their storylines that they're promoting on YouTube are not to help the greater good of humanity. They're just to, eventually, they already have control of all these movements. And at some point, they're just going to use the mainstream media to demonize everyone that's involved. People are going to friggin' waste their entire lives on YouTube just to be demonized by Google. And that's what's going to happen. And I'll be here, man. I'm going to make videos about all this. And eventually, I'm going to have a whole timeline between 2000 and, let's say, 2000 and, I'm going to be able to speak of a timeline between 2010 and 2020. And then these guys will all be retired, man. All the people I'm talking about, I mean, they're not going to be here in 5 years. Give me a break, man. You think Monograph's going to be here in 5 years watching me do live streams in the middle of the night as a 66-year-old dude? Come on, man. That's not how getting old works, man. You guys better live your life now, man. And stop listening to the government telling you that when you get time off work, when you're retired, you're going to live your life and go vacation and go touring the world, man. By the time you get 65, you're not going to go on any trips anywhere because you're going to be worried about health care and freaking getting a heart attack from low blood pressure in the plane. That's what's going to happen when you're 65. And when you're 65 and you want to start a family, well, it's too late, man. It's too late, man. You got to be a good person when you're 18. And you got to be good to old people so that the old people want you to marry their daughters. Not just go around on YouTube and make an ass of yourself and then think that you're going to get some kind of good result from that out of life. You're going to meet some other girl on YouTube with pink hair. You guys are going to run off to YouTube happiness. Well, there ain't no happiness off YouTube as far as I'm concerned. It's a good place to go if you want to be fantasy, man. You want to be one of those people that goes to Comic-Con. Well, come get your practice on YouTube. This is the greatest place for that. Hey, Monty, can you sub my fucking Frodo channel? Yeah, everybody, Frodo, I think I have the link, or is the Frodo channel not the Shillhammer channel? Okay, I have a link on my main page for the Shillhammer channel, and oh, there he is. There he is. Someone put the old man in timeout, man. I want him to go smoke a cigar, man, and pour yourself a fuzzy navel, dude. Put this guy in timeout. I want to see 300 seconds, man. I'll start the countdown now, Monty. And it's 4:42, man. You know, there's a lot of good cars that were built around those numbers, brothers. So it's good that you're now timed out at 4:42. And if you can stay till till 5 o'clock, man, Monty, I tell you what, I'll make some kind of a big celebration for it tomorrow, and I'll give away a gas card to somebody. If I can just get you to hang out here in the chat, timed out, watching everything I say, there will be a free gas card going out to someone, anyone. And obviously, I'm going to have to find some kind of way that I could send these things to people that I don't want their friggin' data. I don't want you to... Nobody going to send me nothing to do. I'm going to send the card to to the police station or to the library near your house with your name on it. Okay? So gas cards are coming to the closest public library to you. And I don't want nobody's details, man. This ain't a friggin' a Pete Santilli operation where what was Pete Santilli's big angle back in 2015 was that there was the people were being tracked by the government and with technology that isn't even out there yet, and he was getting people like this to call in. All those people that called in are on a friggin' FBI watch list, and it's good that Pete Santilli's out there attracting these moth type people in the middle of the night that are friggin' ready to friggin' take over. It's good that he's getting them to call in, and then he's feeding the numbers over to the FBI. America needs Pete Santilli's to friggin' clean up the internet, and then they have their guy Justin Woolley freaking out and acting crazy as hell. What do you think happened to all the people that called and supported Justin Woolley and said, yeah, you're doing good, man, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up? You don't think you're on some kind of a friggin' watch list, man? With these people, they just disappeared off YouTube, man, and Monograph's still here, man, and he's part of the Justin Woolley team, and he's still on YouTube, man. You think that you ain't on a list with these people, and you make any kind of comment or any kind of support for any of these clowns that they're activated as LARPs, as psycho LARPs, as anti-government psycho LARPs, and you're whatever comment you're making in support of them, you think people aren't watching that? All right. Well, we would be able to ask Monograph personally, directly, if he was a normal YouTuber and didn't just say weird sexually deviant things in the chat, and if he actually came to the chat to participate with people and not just harass their loved sheriff. And I always like to point out that Monty is a complete failure in the sense that he tried to become the sheriff of YouTube. He tried to take my sheriff's appointment, and it only lasted one video. It lasted only one video where it was Sheriff Monty and China the 3, and then he became Monty Eastwood. Remember Monty Eastwood? You gave up on trying to be the sheriff because too many people said in the comments, man, you ain't the sheriff, man. We already love the sheriff. So here he is, bothering the sheriff, 4 in the morning. Monty, I could always postpone this stream for 2 more hours when it's 8 p.m. on the other side of the pond. And you'll have to stay up another 2 hours. You won't be able to... Pretty soon your Parkinson's going to kick in, dude. And you're going to start forgetting what your passwords are for all your different channels. And then my life's just going to get easier every week. I mean, it won't be long, man. If you make it to next summer, Parkinson's is going to be your partner. So let's tango, man. Let's tango. And it's funny, Monty, because I have mentioned to everybody that I'm trying to avoid you. And so, you know, when I come back and make videos like my video today about Richie from Boston, well, you can be thanking yourself for these type of additional activities that I'm doing, because you're putting a lot of pressure on me, and I don't like it. And I'm not going to do what you're doing. I'm not going to do the no. I'm not going to do anything criminal. So you're pushing me into a corner to, you should just leave me alone, Monty, and let me just clown you for promoting you being the Anon, original Anon, or you being Illuminati, or you being, all these different fantasies that you are. Just let me clown you, man. That's what happens when you're a clown in life, that people have a right to clown you. And you can't threaten them with no because they're clowning you, because that's friggin' illegal, man. And if you don't like YouTube, man, go to Twitter and stop making videos. If you don't like watching people making videos about you, well, don't try and be the original Anon for 10 years and then try and LARP that you're just some old senior that's being abused by a stronger, younger, faster, better person, YouTuber than you ever were. That's all. I mean, Jesus, Murphy. I still haven't put on any outfits and LARPed as a gay dude for views. So I never put on a dress yet, Monty. I skipped all those things. So we're not in the same era of tubing. So, you should just focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Quantum Epic. Nice to see you, brother. The beloved shower. See? I just say it, man, and people friggin' here. It's like in the olden days. We're all drinking ale, and then someone's, and one for the beloved sheriff. Her. And everyone friggin' clanks their ale together. It's just like that, Monty. Oh, look at that. 300 more seconds. Here we go. Illuminati's comment here. 61-year-old man, September 10th. He's turning 61 years old, folks. The Illuminati says, you went straight from semen on your face. Oh, he's talking about my cucumber mask. And now I got a cucumber mask, a moisturizer mask up here. And, in 2016, when the Illuminati was heavily vested in promoting Pete Santilli's, what was it, the Pete Santilli love show? Remember that, Illuminati, when you were promoting Pete Santilli dating services? And then I had all these friggin' weirdos from the constitutional movement that were saying, trying to pick up other YouTube creators and trying to like you basically catfishing. Remember when catfishing was a big thing? Hey, Linda West was the catfisher for the conservative movement. She used to go around with her titties hanging out and talking about all kinds of weird shit and trying to get people to sign up to her books and buy stuff. Basic catfish. Yeah. Well, I put that mask on my face in 2016 because of you and your weird ass trend, whatever was going on in the constitutional movement when the trend was dating. Must have been around. I mean, these people are so devious that they probably waited till November, like back in the day, or when was it? I guess around Valentine's, like just after the winter when people start getting together. And so around Valentine's, they're like, what can we do? Well, how can we get more? How can we bring more into the fold? It's like the children of God over here, and Pete Santilli is their leader. And then they're like, what can we do? Oh, we'll make a dating service right around Valentine's when, basically, subconsciously, people are looking to find a mate. And we'll friggin' throw a bunch of catfish on that channel, and we'll get a bunch of friggin' dudes that were looking for love on YouTube to give us their home address and their details. That way, if they act crazy on YouTube, we know exactly where to send the FBI. Yeah, well, that's how the dating service went, Monty. And that's why I put the mask on my face. And, you guys, you old dudes are jokers because Dave Acton couldn't handle the mask. He's, Mayo face. He went off about it for friggin' a year. You're going off on it with the semen face, man. It just shows your infantile mind and how it's totally, I mean, broken mind, man. If all you're thinking about is sex, you're on YouTube and you thinking about sex, man, you need to get some sex, and you need to take some time on Tinder and stay off YouTube and figure out what you're doing on the internet and come back on the right channels. You know what I mean? There are websites for people that are looking for sexually deviant things to do with other grown men. It ain't YouTube. It ain't YouTube money. And so, you know, you should probably listen to Dave Acton and just call me Mayo Face. And don't point out that everything going through your mind while you're watching my videos is of a sexual nature. I mean, I can't help you with these problems. This is your own, you got to develop as an individual, and you got to develop your own personality away from what you're now basically focused on. Yeah, I guess if the Illuminati was at a comedy club, it would be a little bit like who's that guy, Dana with the young girlfriend there, and maybe Andrew Dice Clay. Like a lot of cussing, a lot of insulting the audience, and some transgender shit. So I'm sure there's an audience for that, you know, or the Gay Pride Parade comedy show. I don't even think they would want that deviant nature talk, you know. I mean, I feel so bad for gay people. Imagine just being a normal gay person and you get roped in with all this madness, SDGPTD on YouTube. I mean, Jesus, Murphy. Just wish it would go back to the 1980s. I bet half of them are like, shit, I wish I could just be, you know, a normal gay person and not with all these people discovering whether they're gay or not and dressed up like damn peacocks on YouTube. So let's, I guess the Illuminati's still there. Maybe we'll ask him a question and see if he's going to act normal and he answers the question. We might let him stay on in the chat and not keep timing him out. But here's the question, Illuminati. Have you noticed that YouTube's not taking down channels from false strikes? Because I have. Not that I'm trying to take down channels, but I noticed my channels ain't going down from false strikes. So, is it just me, or is other people notice that it's becoming more difficult for the Illuminati to get rid of people speaking out against just basically I don't even have a word for what's going on YouTube anymore, especially not when I'm talking about these people. Getting to the crutch of the matter. Hey, Illuminati, do you think RFB's making declarations for all those bicycles he's selling for $700 on his eBay account with his girlfriend? Because you're spending a lot of time messing with me and my channel and all your friends. Well, you're not giving them very much good advice, I notice. And, you know, I just like to point out that when you put pressure on me, I'm not a fool. I'm not gonna make a video about you and some, you know, and some contagious disease so that I lose my channel. And you know, I'm not gonna report things to the YouTube police, which is basically like you and Mr. Caddy. I'm not gonna report my incidents of discovery to them. We're gonna have to go off-site. We're gonna have to include ICANN and IRS in these criminal investigations that you're pushing me into performing as a. We're gonna have to start LARPing as a criminal investigator. %, Monty does. He definitely does respect me because for 2 years we were basically on the same website and I was watching him do these things to other people, and I would make little comments, you know, like, that so that he would see that I see what he's doing, and that, you know, just making comments. A lot of times I would make sarcastic comments, like say things just so over the top that you must have known that I wasn't, you know, I wasn't approving of any of those things. And obviously he's taken down a few of my channels, and he believes, you know, if you don't have 50,000 subs like him, or if you don't have a video with 1.2 million views like him from Benghazi, well, then you have never made it on YouTube. Well, I contend that you're a loser, and that you're making it does not have any part of my happiness of being a real person on YouTube. I already seen. Monty, you should have let me make money back in 2016, and maybe I would already be on your team. Just another sellout guy that did friggin' getting so much money that he just gonna protect everything with every ounce of my friggin' computer power skills. I would have maybe used it to be just like STD reports. And then you wouldn't have, you guys would still chugging along, man. And maybe if you let everybody else make a little bit of money, that people wouldn't be so hateful towards this whole movement of scammers, man. Scammers. And basically what happened is you guys all looked at the truth movement. You saw that nobody was monetized, and you guys moved in to monetize it. And I was so aggressive, man, that you destroyed it. And then this whole truth movement blowing up in your face, dude, and taking your whole career with it, well, that's friggin' the greatest thing I ever seen in my whole life, man. And you deserve it, brother. So, and I know I'm never going to have any kind of thing like this happen to me, because I ain't never promoted any of these fallacies as real. So, go for it, man. Go for it, man. You just stick around and try and promote something else. And now that I've pointed out that you're not the Illuminati, and you're not really, you really can't hurt anybody other than yourself. And the only things that you do to people that make them stop YouTubing are criminal. So keep trying to make me stop, man. Keep breaking the law, and I'm going to keep recording it. And you're going to see, well, I mean, we're going to see together if ICANN works, or if it's just another LARP, man. And if it's just another LARP, then you just keep on going the way that you're going. And in the end, I don't care. I'm not losing anything. I'm not even looking to monetize any of my channels, because I already know how degenerative this website is, and I don't want to attract these greedy ass friggin' people that are protecting the money. And people can say that I'm the liar, and say that I'm this, and say that I'm doing everything that you guys are doing to me, that I'm doing it to myself. But that only works with other people less and less smart and less able than you, man. I already know what you guys are thinking, man. I already know what you guys are planning before you plan it. So I don't really get caught up in your nasty bullshit, man. I knew you guys were planning to throw that whole shit back on us, man. That's why I didn't even freaking get involved as any type of leadership role. So yeah, the whiskey, well, I'm sure he's not drinking Glenfiddich. That's why he's drinking gin, because gin turns you into a nasty drunk. But go for it, buddy. And you should stick with the malt liquors, man. They're a lot healthier for you. And that whole gin thing, man, that's like rubbing alcohol. That ain't really a healthy beverage. There he is. Thanks, mods. Be back later on. I'm sure you're going to stick around, buddy, but at least that wasn't anything sexual, so don't time him out right away, guys. Let's see if he has an answer to that question. Crickets. Well, Monty, you're going to have to start standing up for yourself, you know? You can't just let a guy from Quebec, little 5'7" dude, tell everybody all these things and not have any defense other than more no-no, and telling everyone that I'm the problem over here and that I want everyone to not make any money. That's not going to work, Monty. Eventually people are going to realize that it's you, that you're the one that's doing all the things that I'm saying you're doing to me, that I'm not doing them to myself, that this is not a LARP for attention. And, you know, if you keep popping up and just talking about transgender stuff, and I keep pointing out that you're talking about transgender stuff as a 60-year-old dude, people are going to start investigating you for pizza. That's what's going to happen, brother. Because you 60, man. I ain't 60 bothering with people that are in their 30s. Yeah. So, when I'm 60, I ain't going to be bothering with people in their 30s. Yeah, so you from a long forgotten generation of people that don't know about the internet, man, where everything you do on the internet, people are recording it, Monty. We all have cell phones. I have terabytes of data, Monty. So, 1980s stalking behavior is not going to work in the 2019 version of the internet. Look, Monty. More tea. With distilled water, Monty. I got a water distiller and I boil my distilled water, Monty. And that's why my skin is so clear. And my liver works great. And, I'm not a doctor, but there's something eating you from the inside, sir. That's evident to me, and I'm not gone to medical school. So you should go to a doctor and take care of that and focus on your human body for the rest of this year and stop. It's not healthy for you to even think of me, sir. It's not healthy any longer. So, this is advice from a gentleman who's helping you quit smoking and who's helping you obviously quit drinking and is going to help you live longer if you listen to him. So, you might want to start listening to me and not yourself. But, what would Friday night be without kickboxing, guys? And by next week, I'm going to have a punching bag right here. And, yeah, I'll display some of my maneuvers, man. How I can, you know, drop kick a guy in the head from 3 feet away. And we'll not worry about, you know, being violated by 61-year-old dudes. Ever. Not ever. Monty, I could go downtown and everyone that's 61 years old could be out. It could be could be the purge. And if it was only 61-year-old dudes around, man, I wouldn't have no problem. I mean, that's this is not, real life's not the internet, man. You gotta be able to move your body to survive. So, there's no competition between 40 and 60. I mean, between 20 and 40, yeah, that worked, man. 20 is the new 40, that worked during the 80s. But this whole 60 is the new 20, that ain't gonna work, Monty. That ain't gonna work. The kids ain't gonna buy that. They already got disdain for the 60-year-old dudes that are trying to date 18-year-old girls. So, go for it, man. Keep being 60 as 40 and see how far that takes you. And obviously, kids, it's a good example how your life's going to turn out if you end up like me and Monty and just spending all your time on the internet. You know, let's say in a week I probably spend 80 hours on the internet. You know, basically, you will not have friends in real life. Obviously, if you go out from time to time like me, and then you're real friendly with people, everyone loves you. But you won't have real friends. You won't, unless you marry someone off YouTube and they stay in their YouTube station wherever it is, and you stay at your YouTube station. You're not developing any interpersonal skills over here. And when you go to actually be in a normal relationship with normal people, and you start talking like I do, or you talk like a lot of these YouTube creators do to the camera, you basically, people in real life don't want to be connected intricately to YouTube and the fabric of YouTube and what's going on. And when you start mumbling about this shit, man, they disconnect from you, man. They don't want to know nothing about this type of lifestyle. Basically, it's just me or a bunch of guys staring at computer screens, and you know, and families are not built around that, man. So women are not interested in this type of activity. And then once you do this for 20 years or, you know, 15 years strong since 2006, well, you know, there's nobody calling you, man. There's nobody to want to get together with you. So that's maybe why Richie from Boston is doing so much of this get out with the boys thing and hang out, and he has to have, you know, he wants to know where the guys will be hiding after the purge, and he's, you know, he doesn't want to just be him and Richie in Boston all by himself. So the thing when Chana, yeah, I showed my cup. I got these cups. I really like them. They got like some kind of a grip, and it's like 2 cups at once. And yeah, it's a good thing. What I did is basically, if you're on YouTube, it's a good time, kids, to get a proper chair like I have, an ergonomic chair they're called, and basically you work on your posture when you're on YouTube. You make sure you work on your posture, because YouTubing is, if you're gonna do YouTube for a long time, you're gonna have to worry about your back, your eyes, and your wrists, and that's all. And obviously you gotta, you know, take it one day at a time. But YouTube is not a solution, man, to real life. It's not. It's nothing, there's nothing that's transferable really from YouTube that people in real life want to know about so far that I've noticed. Obviously, now that the news is here on YouTube, probably a lot more people are going to believe YouTube is a real place, a realistic place to get information from. And that's the irony of it all, you know, is that YouTube was actually really cool before, and it was very authentic, and it's become basically it's just become a chat, you know, an ICQ under, you know, the monetization of, let's say, people's, you know, chat channels. And it's cool, man. It's cool. In 2 years you're gonna see. And the funniest thing is that, kids, I could outperform a lot of people as in that model as well. I mean, you just got to be able to see what model and what about the model to be able. If you can't see these things, you can't outperform anything. But if you can see these things, you can. A big part about being you as a person is when you know these things are there, and then when you figure them out, well, you ain't figuring them out to join them. That's another type of person. I'm just figuring all this stuff out to tell everyone what's really going on. I'm like a YouTube reporter. And basically, I just want to tell people the straight, hard, cold, fact goods. You know, don't pull any punches. People want to know. And then when people know, then they develop the way that they're going to act based on the reality. And then this place will turn out to be better, because deep down inside, people are good. And it's not going to take long for good people to realize what people are bad from the old guard. Because they got 2, 3, 4 years of being, you know, of being shameless e-beggars. And then there's a lot of people that have been on here, man, that don't even come on my radar. And God bless them, man. And I hope they make endless money. I hope they make more money next year than they made this year. And especially these people that have channels that have nothing to do with the news, and that really have amazing channels, however they made them. Not these top 5 or top 10 channels that YouTube, basically created in a friggin' candy machine, identical copies, like 2,000 channels became mostly Indian IM creators. Top 10, top 5, top 6, top 12, top this, top that. That's YouTube, man. Giving people an angle, saying this is what we're promoting this month. Make a channel like this and you'll do well. And they did that back in 2016 for those top 10 channels. There was a big push for those type of channels. And then once those came out, it was easier to give people... It's easy to do YouTube if you have a template. Like if someone tells you, like, if you want subs, guys, okay, stop covering anything Monty talks about and just do, like, Monty's top 10 videos and then Monty's top worst videos, or 5 worst videos, 5 best videos, 5 best plane crashes, 5 worst plane crashes, and you'll have subs. That's what YouTube will promote you as, a top 10 channel or top 5 channel. And, people that already watch these channels, your channel will be recommended to them in the algorithm. And you just focus on that. Don't go and all of a sudden do news and make YouTube friggin' shadow ban your channel out of the algorithm. You just stick to your top 10 bullshit, and you will have at least 1,000 subs by January 1st. Just do top 10 videos. Okay? Top 10 video game, top 10 restaurant, top 10, everybody wants to know the top 10. Top 10 restaurant for every city. You want to make money on YouTube, and nobody ain't going to bother you, man. I could make all these channels, and they could all be monetized, and they would still bother me. Money would still come over and ruin my channel. Okay, but you can, because you're not known to them, and you're not involved with these people, and these people don't want you to leave YouTube. So you're not focused on their LARP, you don't talk about QAnon, you don't denounce the Illuminati as fake, they ain't gonna bother with you. You don't call out Richie from Boston for being an e-beggar, they're gonna let you roll. Top 10, man, top 10 sex shops. I mean, there you go, man, you're friggin' 1 million views, okay? You want YouTube, man, just open your mind, think for yourself, and follow the algorithm. And don't get involved with people that are speaking out against the side of the algorithm that's very grimy, which is the e-beggar side. And you'll do and make and advance and do fine on YouTube. And if ever I want to, I could just erase all my videos and make any type of these channels. It wouldn't make a difference. They still wouldn't want me on YouTube because of what I know, because of what I spoke out against, because of the people that are here that I spoke out against. They are the people that believe they own YouTube behind the scenes. Like when you hear the Christmas dinner from last year, and I'm gonna, on Christmas time, man, I'm gonna re-release all these videos on my channel, and you're gonna see a year later what these clowns have done. You're gonna see, man, with your own ears and eyes, that these people are exactly where they want to be, even though I'm exposing them as e-beggars. There ain't no shame in their game, man. That they know what I know and what I'm gonna say about them, and they look at me and they try and pressure me not to say it. That they don't try and not do the grimy because it's wrong. No, they try and silence me for speaking out against it. So, welcome to YouTube. And trust me, with people like Freddy, Treach, and Tidor, well, we could just not cover any of this stuff and be millionaires as another channel that has nothing to do with calling out anyone. Just some type of authentic, real channel that people want to watch, that people don't mind spending money, or making money when ads run. Like, why would a person who enjoys your content be upset if there's an ad that they can skip that's running that some people don't skip, and you get to make, you know, a couple $100 a month and make videos? Nobody cares. Everyone's happy that you make money on that side of YouTube. It's only on this side of YouTube with these people like Tracy Beans and STD Reports that are trying to control all the views and actually be the twoof news. This is the side of YouTube where you meet these. That's why when I speak out against these people and another person comes here from a makeup channel, I mean, they just friggin' go to another channel, man. They don't have to be. This part of YouTube has nothing to do with 80% of the people on YouTube. And that's why when I'm speaking out, and then Gandalf the White is coming around, and I'm promoting the idea that everyone should look in on YouTube and see it's only 20 guys, a handful of guys. And this guy's coming around trying to tell me that I should go and meet with him and Scott Bibler in private, and that there's 1,000 bubbles and pockets all around, and that the pockets and bubbles and this and that. And I'm saying, yeah, but there ain't no other pocket of truth. Okay? Well, you're talking about pockets of idiots and Sasquatch, pockets of flat earth, pockets of all these pockets of bullshit that he wants me to follow. But when I'm referencing what I'm seeing with my own eyes, which is a handful of people, 20 people, YouTube twoof, and let me tell you, man, they're grimy as hell. They're 60 and up. They all making hell amount of money. And they controlling. It's funny because they're trying to control trends in the fabric, and it's easy for me to friggin' out-trend them. You know, when I see something going wrong on their side, man, it's easy for me to make that happen. So it's just a matter of time. I mean, I didn't come to YouTube to be abused. I came here knowing full well that I have everything in my body I have everything. Like, I don't need no medicine. I don't need no pills in my body. I have everything to heal myself. I just take care of myself. I have everything required to have full grasp of everybody and everything they're doing on this website, man. And if there was a way to get beyond the platform, I would already have it. That's how much YouTube I do. And, like, you know, back when I used to play video games on my Xbox, I used to friggin'... what do they call, like, when you could find breaks in the friggin' in the actual platform window that they're using? I could go below and above the friggin', be below the ground and be in all these places that nobody else can get through by jumping and doing. YouTube ain't like that, man. This ain't no Xbox, man. This ain't no video game. Everything that these guys are doing, I can do. Everything that the multi-channels are doing, networks are doing, I can do just all by myself, man. I don't need secretaries to do none of this shit. I used to do, like, when they had annotations and you could put words in on videos and stuff, and the reason they stopped doing that is because as soon as you start putting words on a video, man, that is a new creation. That is, they cannot... The DMCA strike is not effective against people that have fucking worded up videos of someone else with their own comments and with their own commentary and they got rid of that. And that is because they knew the TV was coming, man, and they didn't want that type of commentary and that type of extraction of other people's, or, you know, property information the way that they're putting it out. They don't want you to be able to present someone else's info with a bit of words over it and it become yours, and you have a legal protection of that. And that's the irony of YouTube is that when you sit here and see how things go from, man, I put in hours, so many hours on one of my channels in writing things in and doing annotations, man, like at least 500 hours of annotations. And Monty took down that channel, man, James de la B1. And when that clown tells you he's Illuminati and he's figured out who I am, man, I mean, you ain't... My original channel was James de la B1. My last name on Facebook is my real last name, and it's my Facebook. You can find it, man. It's on Facebook still. I am not no friggin' behind the scenes scumbag dude that hides his name and that nobody knows. Everybody knows me, man. My member of parliament, Isabelle Morin, knows me very well. Everybody knows me, man. You just have to friggin', you call the mayor of Montreal and ask him about James Laboursier. He gonna know me, man. And it's not because I'm a bad person. Okay? It's because real life is real life, and you either make a name for yourself in 50 years doing real life, or you make a fake name for yourself in 12 years doing YouTube. And the fake name that these people have made for themselves ain't nothing, man. They ain't nobody, especially if you've been running around as a fake person impersonating other people. You've been spending a lot of time as other people, man. You haven't even had time to build yourself. So, I'm not like that. I've been living my whole life building my own name attached to my face, and people know when I talk, I say what I mean. And that's it, man. I don't have many friends because of it. And I don't want 1,000 friends in this modern time, when mostly what friends do is convince you to go along with the program. And so I love everyone, but I do my own thing when it comes to this one life that we all have that's 80 years. And it's 6 of them. Once I spend 8 years on YouTube, I spent 10% of my life on YouTube. And there's nobody that's going to push me off this stool, man. There's no old dude that's 60. There's no behind the scenes dude that makes puzzles. There's none of these people are going to be able to shake me off my YouTube, man. There's nobody going to be able to, man. Especially not anyone that's 60. Sorry, kids. And if I feel like you guys are going to shake me, I'll start doing videos in my workout room, and I'll do weights as I'm doing YouTube, just to stay one step ahead of you guys, because I know when you're doing your YouTube, you ain't doing no weights. So eventually, doing weights in YouTube, hell, I'll be friggin' so far ahead of the pack, man. I'll be having an Arnold Schwarzenegger channel by 2020, man. I'll be the oldest buff dude on YouTube, man. I still won't be trying to use YouTube as a dating site. Okay? Thanks, but no thanks. And just so everybody knows, all these, things that you do online, it's obvious to me that none of this stuff is going to stand the test of time. So, if you can grasp all that from what I'm telling you, that this YouTube game is pretty much, it's in your own mind, maybe people will save themselves from immersing their bodies into YouTube as if it was real life. And, if you're doing YouTube and you have other problems, and then you're smoking while doing YouTubing, or you're smoking while watching these videos, man, get a smartphone and friggin' put it on a stick and go for walks and watch YouTube until your body is not failing you, man. Do not stay on YouTube if you already have human body problems. Do YouTube and go, every time you want to watch videos on YouTube, buy a friggin' exercise bike and watch the videos on the exercise bike, lass. Don't just stand on YouTube and watch 10 years of my content and hate me, and then turn around and say I'm the reason why you have the crappy life that you have, and that you're a smoker, and that all your teeth are falling out, and that you're not, your life is crap, and it's because of me and my 10 years of videos. That's not how watching YouTube videos goes. So don't blame me, Monty, in 10 years if you don't do anything other than what you're doing right now, because that ain't working. What do you think about them apples, Treach? So, yeah, I kind of like it. Like, my imagination kind of fires up, you know, and then I start having like basically an argument with the person that's not really here in the live stream, you know, and so I like have like a conversation with two people. Man, this is basically psychic, like LARP UNRIG is what you're seeing there. Basically, I'm putting myself all over the place. I'm putting myself in other people's shoes, and I'm even going beyond that. I'm responding for them. So it's the best for me, man, because it's like I have a conversation with a person that don't like me, and I always win these conversations when they're against myself. You know what I'm saying? So they always end off good. I look real smart, man. I mean, if Monty's in the chat watching this, he's friggin' smashing his friggin' keyboard now. He's like, work, man, work. I gotta upload a video. But, you know, if he wasn't so secretive, all these old people that are still left on the internet that are his subscribers, when they find out he's got no technology, man, they'll all grab some technology and send it to him in the mail. But he's cachette, man. He's been hiding his address. He wants people to believe he lives behind a bookcase in a mansion somewhere. Like he's had this house for 10 years, man. And I guess his family, he's a billionaire, and his family gave him everything, and he's got a house, and you know he pays taxes from friggin' from selling fidget spinners on YouTube. Yeah. He's most likely the guy lives in a basement suite somewhere in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? I'm freaking renting out the basement of a house. Give me a break, man. Joe Brown in the house. The troll with a heart, man. Joe Brown. This guy's working wonders for 153 News, because even if it is a shill website, if it's good people and they're inviting and they're nice to you, and they don't insult you, and they always come back and take a little abuse and be positive around you, hey, that will help that shill website grow, man. Joe Brown, you should nominate yourself to the position of Jason Boss and tell Jason Boss to go back to Nicaragua and give out Bibles and to extend the length of his beard so he could come back and compete with Scott Bibler over here on YouTube. Because Jason Boss will never be better than Bibler's beard. That I can promise you. No matter what I say about Bibler, that man has the best beard that I've seen on YouTube. So in Movember, or whenever that is, the time when people don't shave, well, I'll have to give Scott Bibler a prize. Just for being himself all year, man. A 40-year-old beard on YouTube is worth a high level of respect. I mean, he's respected by the inner guard just by the fact that he came to YouTube with a 40-year beard. And he didn't denounce 40 years, being over 40 years old, and shave his beard off and come here as a little elf like me. Obviously, if I'd have a 40-year-old beard, my trolls would say I'm a Muslim and they would hate me for it. So you get what you get with me, man. Me, I'm kind of like a version of YouTube, you know, the visual version of YouTube. But when I start talking, man, oh man, the people on YouTube don't really like me. But visually, man, I do good. I'm doing all right. My small face and body is better than George Webb. Like George Webb, if he was sitting here, he'd be like this big. Just by size, you know, 6 foot to 5 foot. My small size condenses well into this 720 frame, you know. If I was like a big guy, basically you get bigger, there's less for the audience to see. So here I am. Back when I was in elementary school, I'll give a little information to the trolls. All my friends, and yes, I was one of the most popular midgets in school because I was only like 1 foot high when I was friggin' 8 years old. And people used to call me Little D. Yeah. Through elementary, I was always called Little D. Like, there's LL Cool J. Well, I was Little D. And, yeah, I used to be the perfect height as a young man. Because I was always 2 feet shorter than all the ladies. But when you're a midget growing up, you know, in high school, and you're like a 4'2", 17-year-old, it's cool because you're a midget and everyone loves you, but you're still a midget. So I was lucky to grow when I turned 18, and then I grew from 18 to about 23 to be a stature of very, very tall, man. I'm tall in my eyes because I was once a midget. So all these guys that are well-bred, like George Webb, friggin' guy's friggin' 7'2" for all I see on the video when he's standing next to Jason Goodman. Me and Jason Goodman are kind of cut from the same cloth, you know, a little fairy body looking. But it's not our fault. We look good on camera. That's what counts. And bless, yes. Rach, if you grow a beard, I will friggin' feature you on my channel every night. And we will get famous together, man. And we could actually promote the idea that if you're going to be a woman and be on YouTube, that it's a good idea for you to consider growing a beard. And imagine if some of these guys fall in love with you. Like, and then you invite these guys to your parents' house, and you're at dinner table, and it's Christmas dinner, and your grandma's there, and you know, and you got STD reports at the end of the table talking about friggin' Tracy Beans and QAnon, and grandma's saying, "What the fuck is YouTube?" Yeah, you know, imagine. I mean, I should make a channel, YouTube weddings, and just search YouTube for the people that on YouTube got married off YouTube, man, and just do videos on these people, man. I go around and I want to feature you guys on my channel, man. YouTube weddings. You got married on YouTube? Shit, man. Let's see this. And you go in their house and it's like 2 fucking bedrooms detached from each other with computers in it. And I mean, they don't even cross the friggin' threshold, you know? I mean, might as well be Hasidic over there. But that's what I'm imagining it would be like. YouTube wedding channel, you know, and basically I go around and find all these freaks across North America that are like, yeah, we're married, you know, or gamers that get married, you know, and pretty much they just stay gamers, and then I guess they sleep together or in the same bed at alternative hours, you know. One guy's up doing his video games and then the other one sleeps. I mean, anything's possible, man. If the money's coming in, I mean, ain't nobody gonna fight that plan. Yeah, Adelaide's laughing. She laughs. She's like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking stupid, man. But it's probably true. The good thing about my audience is that, you know, half of my friggin' jokes aren't that funny when you're actually on YouTube and you know what's going on down here. You're like, he could make that work. I mean, this is a fucking joke for the show, but I mean, he could make that channel. That channel would get 1 million views, man. Imagine I find 2 super freaks that got married, man. I mean, that's a whole friggin' season. Anyways, I gotta stop giving out too many ideas to these slacking, the slackers. Let me just go and turn on my kettle. Be right back. Mr. Good Boy. Mr. Pocket's so good. Yeah, I got this amazing jasmine plant, and it's blooming now in my kitchen, so it's like, frig, my whole house smells like jasmine. I mean, if you're going to go spend $10 on, you know, these Glade plugins from the Johnson family that I'm sure are sold in every country around the world now, I mean, first of all, that's just toxic for you to breathe in. Like, if you put these air freshener samplers in a small room and just close you friggin' die, man, from inhaling that shit. So, it's a good idea. Buy a jasmine plant, and like twice a year, I mean, it smells like friggin' real jasmines. That's why they develop these incense things, is because they're looking to make it smell like the damn thing naturally. And jasmine plants are so strong. It's friggin' amazing. Quantum Epic. Pockets got married. Pockets of the future. Jesus Christ, man, I'm so happy for him. God damn, that's amazing. And on this crazy website with all these haters that have been friggin' following him around and telling him he's this, he's that, and he's really not, you know, a fighter type person, and he's surviving and getting married, man. God bless that guy. He deserves to have kind-hearted man. Friggin' went to India and his family fell apart, and he's, God bless him, man. I can't be happier. That's the best news I heard, man. See, I might have to do the wedding channel, man, and feature this guy. Let Pockets know I'm doing a wedding channel. I want to feature him and his... he's probably not going to want to have anything to do with being featured with his wife on this sick website. Cause he probably smart enough to know better. Like I've been saying, the guy's psychiatrist. You know, he has a master's in friggin' development something. He's definitely qualified to be on YouTube. And he's definitely qualified to make money on YouTube if he wants, and to monetize if he wants, and to offer advice. You know, obviously, he's helping people understand and get a grips on things that are going on here. And just seeing him being trolled by people, a lot of people that are, you know, follow my content, also follow Monty's content, where nobody can make money on YouTube, especially not if you're not with them. So I like to separate myself from all the people that just don't want anybody to make any money on you. Those days are over, man. Those people are dinosaurs, man. And you gotta not be singled in. You gotta start pointing out to people that you want people to make money, and you just don't want the scammers to be grifting off people. Otherwise, people like Monograph will twist it around and make you the toxic person against money. And they're promoting the money behind the scenes to their people. And their people are seeing him stop you from getting money. So, it's not in anyone's best interest, if they're following me and any of my content, to also follow Monograph and his ideas that promote that there are people on YouTube that their only thing on YouTube is to stop people from making money. That's Monty's job when you don't go along with their program. But it makes you as a person toxic to follow channels like Pockets of the Future and to say, you know, that he's basically an e-beggar. Because the guy's friggin' working on YouTube with the model that's there. He's writing books. He's has a master's degree in whatever it is. He could be a professor. So that's what professors do. They write books. And if he can't do his, you know, meditation channels and his, you know, think of being a better person from inside using your heart. I mean, if he can't get that message out there and people are going to call him all kinds of names and not want him to make enough money to pay for his family, to eat, and to take care of his kids. Meanwhile, people like STD Reports are making hundreds of thousands of dollars on YouTube with Monograph protecting them. And then you become toxic, man. And that is the game of the troll, man. And that's why people around me gotta start being happy for people if they're doing even a little bit of the right thing and they're having some success. Because you can't hate everything. If you're not going to be able to stop Google. So you got to start working within the boundaries of what's acceptable morally, and there's nothing wrong. You cannot take a position that only the scumbags make money hand over fist. Only the Richie from Boston's make money once they get on board with the group. And promote the idea that everyone else that's not with the group doesn't, you know, no, not them. They can't feed their family. They can't advance off YouTube. That's toxic, and that's part of the troll game. And that's why over the last 2 months I've been talking about, like, yo, man, I'm not again. I want you to make money, man. Make money, man. Monetize. Everyone should monetize their channels, man. Just monetize your channel, and when you make money, man, help someone poor. And don't think that it's not a burden, because there's a big chance that if you start taking money that it will corrupt you. That's how money is. And that's the difference between, you know, 80%, 8 out of 10 of the people will be corrupted by money. And it's not bad. That's the nature of money. That's why when you help someone, you don't try and get money. So, God bless, my tea just popped. Let me just fill her up. Give me a sec. Oh, my 2 dogs, they look so Sorry, boy. Gotta not drip the tea on the dogs when you walk by. So yeah, I got an idea for my channel while I was pouring some tea, because that's what happens if you think for yourself and you don't jump in with these gangs. You actually still think for yourself, and it happens all day long. So yeah, I was thinking of a way, like the way that my channel comes up, because I use the Streamlabs and I just hit one button and then I go live. It always goes live with the same title. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to take a pen here. And what do you think is a good title for this stream, for this one broadcast that can, you know, if anybody wants, they could throw it down there, and I'll use that for the title of the stream. So I'm always going to leave my Psychic UNRIG LARP streams with the first part of the title here that says Psychic Rig UNRIG, sorry. And then I'll put an additional title near the end. So everyone realizes that their time on YouTube, because I realize that okay, wait a minute. It's not Pockets of the Future didn't get married. Even if he didn't, man, I hope he does. And if he did, I'm gonna be friggin' happy for him. Yeah, Paul Romano. Yeah, he was one of the original channels that I watched. I used to really, when he was getting trolled and had 40,000 subscribers, I used to give him messages, try and be positive with him, and you know, I tried to give him some insight to what is going on down here. He's a smart dude, and he's not stupid enough to get involved with these. He just does his own thing, and obviously there's a point, you know, when you think you're gonna lose your channel and you did all this and you're spending 5 years and it's all going away, and you got a family and 2 kids, you living in an apartment, frig, man, that's enough to give you damn ulcers, man. So if Google is not a good place, man, for you to be a grown man and to try and make money, unless you're a scammer. And people can't come together around people that aren't scammers, that are just regular dudes trying to make it, trying to use YouTube in the best they can, well then you just don't, you never put yourself in someone else's shoes, man. I'm not the same as a guy with kids. When I'm arguing with guys like Monty, nobody with kids are gonna do that. And nobody, not one person. That guy will call CPS on you, man. Child Protective Services. Friggin' rat you out, man. For whatever, man. They'll make up shit. Okay? And your YouTube career will be the end of your friggin' family. And that's what they do. And that's why there's nobody on YouTube speaking out against these jokers. Except for me and a handful of other people that, you know, are not afraid of these type of social pressures that they make other people turn away from YouTube with. Why don't somebody do a video, top 10 YouTubers that have been, CPS has been called on them and they quit YouTube? And you'll see, you'll probably find a friggin' 1,000 people in America. And the irony is that this is going on in America where people are like pro free speech. It's not, man. It's not. It's pro whatever the people that are saying it's pro or whatever their game is. That's what its pro is. Hey, Crenshaw, there she is, man. I went over to that side of YouTube for a second, man, and I seen, yo, Crenshaw, yesterday, I actually talked out about, I was like, man, there's a lot of friggin', it must be a full moon on YouTube or something, because there's a lot of friggin', there was a lot of stuff going on yesterday, man. Everybody was pissed off making videos and this and that. And I mean, I just follow them all, and I'm just like, wow, man. Wow. It's not only the TWOOF movement. There's another groups of YouTube, and they equally have similar problems with the jealousy and with the envy and with the just everybody having a smartphone and able to go live. It's just not all these channels that are making money from YouTube and that are, you know, they don't like the competition of all these regular people because they're really trying to make money. And so when you step up your game, well, their money game goes down. So that's what you have, is you have, and when there's money involved, there's always influence. And so it's funny seeing it's not funny, but, you know, the Kajenka movement has been totally, it's basically just turmoil. And, yeah, I'm just happy to be able to go anywhere, you know, somewhere else other than YouTube TWOOF, and find content that I enjoy watching. Like, I just enjoy looking at Crenshaw when she's doing her videos. But it's nice to see people that are down to earth, have a regular channel, talk about things that's their own personal things, and you know, and obviously my content is a lot directly related with these clowns that try and promote themselves as news, that have, you know, went from being conspiracy theorists to first they were truthers, then they were conspiracy theorists, then truthers, and now they're twoofers. I focus on those, that clique, that handful of 25 old dudes that are 60. Oh yeah, someone on UPS, Crenshaw, yeah, man. You see that CPS thing? That's why, you know, that's why when you come to YouTube and you got a family and you got kids, don't start showing these hateful people your whole family life. Don't think that there ain't people when you show you driving around in a car that don't have cars and wish they had a car and is on YouTube and think by hating on you they gonna get a car because you must have hated on someone to get your car. I mean, don't think there ain't people like that on YouTube. Hateful as ever, man. So what I do is I just, you know, I try and know the people that I known from 4 years ago on YouTube. Like, I known Crenshaw since long time, man. And for sure I known her since way before, like when that Kajenka thing was spreading. Like, I had my boy Tachyon Time Lord that was following Gray Hughes, and was talking out against this guy. And then at the same time, the Kajenka shit came around. And then I kind of like went over there and started making fun of Gray Hughes, because Gray Hughes was taking down my boy Tachyon Time Lord's channel, which he ended up taking it down. But the problem is for Tachyon is that he spoke out against all these different groups like me. By the time he got to the Gray Hughes, I mean, all the other groups who've spoken out against Monograph was still trying to take him down, and eventually it works. Like, once you start, and everyone friggin' hates you, and they're all basically strike Nazis. Gray Hughes, Dave Acton, Monograph, I mean, all they do is strike your channel. I mean, that's why you can't strike people's playlists anymore. Because for a while, these trolls could go around with 100 channels and just go in and strike all your playlists anonymously. Your channel would go down. But YouTube's fixed these problems, I've noticed, and that's probably why the trolls aren't able to just shamelessly strike down channels for no reason. It has a lot to do with what's available to them in their handbook of hacks. And like, all these people are like hackers, you know, they're like, oh, I'm a hacker, and then they downgraded themselves from actually being a real hacker to just being a loser on YouTube, because you ain't hacking shit, man. Hacking and getting people's channels terminated is the lowest of the low. Even I don't try and terminate people's channels. Even Monograph's channel, I wouldn't try and terminate. I actually want his channel to stay up because of all the incriminating evidence I have of videos he's made about me, and they're all linked directly to his channel with the ULR. And as long as that, even if they delete the channel, man, they ain't gonna be deleting all the ULRs. And that's how YouTube goes. If you're a psychopath like Luca Magnotta, yeah, they got all his YouTube videos, they got all his Facebook posts, man. After the fact, they go in and they see everything about you, man, and then they figure out anything else you might have done. And it's, you know, the government's not there to friggin' prevent this stuff, because you can't prevent people from going crazy if they're just saying they're crazy, but they are there to analyze all the evidence afterwards. And so that's, you know, that's pre-crime. And soon Google's going to be able to predict, based on what people say and do in their videos and how they look and how far their eyes are apart from each other, of whether or not there's a likelihood that you go off and start acting crazy or start doing things that they don't like. And they'll be able to predict that just from what you say, the expressions on your face when you read things. And basically you just need to have enough examples for the computer to analyze for it to find a pattern. And then when it finds a pattern, it just has to, you know, get better at finding that pattern. Just like dogs know when you're gonna have a seizure or something, and you have a service dog, and let's say you're epileptic, the dog knows like 30 seconds, 40 seconds before you that there's something going on with you. Maybe by scent, they might smell some kind of hormone that's coming out when the thing goes down, whatever it is. They hone their skills to see that, and the dog steps on your foot before you have a seizure, and then you sit down wherever you are so that you don't pass out and knock your head. And I mean, if you don't think that a computer can do a better job than a frickin' Fido, a computer can analyze like 100,000 friggin' incidents, and every little detail about it, whatever the programmer puts in to analyze it, can analyze like 5 billion points of friggin' data, and they throw that across, and they're going to be able to figure out better. In 10 years, they're going to know what you know before you know it. And you know, they're already talking about sending advertisement inside your head so that you think of it. And you don't hear it or see it. You just think of it. And if everything in your body is electrical, you know, it's all electrical impulses or electromagnetic, well, they're just, you know, they just have to somehow find a way to get between that electricity that's powering your thoughts and promote, you know, put some kind of input there before, and then you just think of it directly, and you don't even have to see it or hear it. I mean, it's not that hard to believe this is coming down the pipes. And Joe Brown, you notice that good old Illuminati man, his Parkinson's meds must have kicked in, and the guy friggin', he cashed out, man. He went to bed just like I predicted. Any streams that I'm doing at 3 in the morning here in Montreal time, they come in at 12 over there in Colorado and California. But let's say by the time I make it to 5:30, man, that guy's Betty bye-bye, man. I mean, I don't know any old people that can stay up past 10 o'clock at night. I don't. And I'm a real estate broker, man. I know all kinds of people and old people. That's who sells their houses is old people. So, yeah, I live in Montreal, the big city of telemarketing, man. That's why I'm so good at busting these LARPers, man, because I grew up with all these scammer telemarketers, all these people telling old people that they want a car and they just have to pay for the transportation and the taxes. And then these poor American people, man, would, send them $1,000 by Western Union or whatever, 400, oh, you got 300? Okay, we'll do it for 300. I mean, they're bargaining, your price is down. And making money, man, like so much money that the government has to step in and close these places down. So yeah, when you come from Montreal, you know about grifters and scammers and people that friggin' go online and scam people, because we've been doing it over here in Montreal when there was just telephones. And when I say we, it's not just one person. When things like that are happening, when all of America is being telemarketed from Quebec, during the 90s and during the 80s, well, sorry kids, it's more than just a problem. It's a way of life over here, being a telemarketing scammer. And thank God that's gone away a bit. It's not so much the capital of telemarketing anymore. Now I think somewhere in Africa is there, Liberia or something, where they try and catfish you with some girl saying she need money, and then she here in a hotel and a student, and it's just the other. It's like the Tinder catfish as opposed to the other one. So Joe Brown, don't go around and think because I'm not calling you out as a troll whenever a new person comes in here that you're going to go over on their channels and then become some kind of main and then try and promote Crenshaw to go over to 153 News. That ain't going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little disclaimer here that most of the people in my chat don't like me, other than the ladies that are in my chat that are people from Europe. But if there's an American dude in my chat, there's a good chance that he's not there to help me. And don't think that if you, this guy, Joe Brown, he shamelessly promotes 153 News, which is a LARP website of Sidethorn journalist with Vice News. And they ran that whole church shooting, go to the church and call everyone demons and be filmed on Vice News doing it. And then to come back and tell the Vice News that I'm with YouTube, I'm a YouTube reporter, and then to get arrested on site for criminal trespassing. Yeah, well, that's who Joe Brown's here with. So I like the guy because he's a nice troll, but he's not the right type of person. It's not good for you to meet people on my channel, because a lot of people watching my channel are just gonna trying to get insight as to where I'm pivoting to, so that they can put up some kind of defense when I start throwing rocks from the water's edge. And Rach is from the UK. Crenshaw, you'd probably enjoy her as a subscriber, because she's a normal person, and she just comes on YouTube and she's actually surprised at all the stuff that's actually going on down here. And it's good to have some subscribers from another place. Like, I have subscribers from the UK, and then I was like, damn, man, this is actually pretty good. I don't even have to deal with the Americans. So, and then you get the Australians too. If you come on in the middle of the night, there's a huge amount of people that are from Australia that are on the YouTube.com. So in the middle of the night, you get a different type of person, you know, less brainwashed, more, I mean, they probably have their own social manipulation going on, but it's not directly like ours. Like, they have a little bit of a different one. Like, you got the Kajenka over there. We have what's our latest LARP? We got Isaac Cappy over here on the Twoof movement. This dude Isaac Cappy and his afro, the white Jewish afro out to here. He's the face of mental retardation on YouTube. Yeah, well, that's our hero. And then the Kajenka hero would have been Gray Hughes. And unfortunately, to point out that the Cappy hero and the Gray Hughes hero, well, they know that they're both heroes, and they're both here as heroes. And that's how twisted it is, that all these LARP teams know that everyone's LARPing, and they're not going to stand up against someone else just because they're doing another LARP in another area. No, they all look over like I do, and I'm like, oh, look at these clowns. And then they're like, oh, look at these dudes making money, and we should try that. That's the difference between me and them. So, it's cool when you start looking at YouTube. Like, if you go in that, you know, that zone where you just see a whole different range of manipulation, but the manipulation is still there, you know, effectively. And yeah, Joe Brown's my favorite troll. Basically, he's with the troll team 153 News, which basically try to promote everyone on YouTube to go over there and make channels so that they can just give you views. They just put 200 views on your video just to shut you up, man. They know nobody's going on 153 News to watch videos, man. I mean, that news, it's 153news.net. When was the last time ever anyone did a search online typing in the Google box for .net? That, like 3 years ago, bro. The .net didn't take off the way the com is. So, sorry. But the thing I like about Joe Brown is he's not offensive. He's not. He just talks about a bunch of shit like religion. If you let him come on your show, he'll talk about stuff until people hang up and close down the live stream. But he doesn't insult you. He doesn't talk about sexually dysfunctional things or sexual deviance like my other troll, Illuminati. And he's just basically like, you're a good representative for 153 News, unlike the owner. So, just be aware that when you roll around China to 3, that even my haters love me. They watch me. Well, they don't say they love me, but they love me enough to watch all my shows. Like, any minute now, you're going to see the Illuminati's going to rise out of his friggin' vampire slumber. He got his 1 hour and a half sleep tonight. He'll be back, man. He'll be back before 6:30, chirping in. With the semen face. Or whatever he's going to say, something sick. But, God forbid that guy has a family. I mean, if I went around the internet and said the things that he said, and, you know, I mean, I would be ashamed of myself. So when I'm calling out a person for being a scammer, and it's like, I'm not insinuating that they're sexual deviants or that they're with their parents or anything sick like this, or you're sleeping with your sister or your mother. This is a next level of sickness, man. And to think of these things and to say them of another person this is from your mind. This is not, these are things that are bothering you in your head and that you're spitting out to other people, that you're developing, that you're coming up with. It's not the reality for the other person other than you're saying it. So the sickness is inside that person. And it is sick. His thoughts. Like, I would imagine that if everything done to me, I mean, this guy should be in a psych ward. So, yeah, friendly trolls are good. And as long as you don't go over to 153 News and give them your information and actually you don't really have much to worry about because you don't cover the TWOOF movement. You know, you don't cover all these friggin' this Isaac Cappy buffoon and the Lift the Veil. I mean, Crenshaw probably never even heard of Lift the Veil. And you don't want to. Don't go look them up, whatever you do. Friggin'. But basically over here in the old truth movement, the old conspiracy theory movement, which I'm the new king, and basically you got all these people that have been around here, and there's hella trolls, man, and there's more trolls than there is good people. Joe Brown's not a mod anywhere, man. Joe Brown is... He's got a J as his icon. He's not a real YouTuber. You know, anyone that just has an icon with a letter, that's Google. He's a Googler. Google's given him that letter. He's not a real presentation. He's not a full avatar yet. He's still in the beginning stages of being anybody on YouTube. And with a name like Joe Brown, he's trying to stay fairly anonymous. Yeah, Lift the Veil will come to you in recommendations because some of your friends are liking his videos. What you got to do is, Rach, is you got to find out which of your friends, you know, you just put out a casual message there on one of your videos and say, I don't know which of my friends is liking all of Lift the Veil's videos, but unfortunately you're making it recommended for me, so can you please stop? And then whoever it is that's friggin' shamelessly going over there liking them is going to be like, oh, they know. And then they're going to stop liking it because they're going to realize that the likes are your recommended is directly related to what your friends are liking on this server. Yeah, the Russian bot. The Russian bot is, I'm a bot. Oh no, don't even listen to Joe Brown, man. Once you get him going, man, he just tries to keep you in a conversation. And he's not really a real YouTuber. He doesn't really do YouTube videos. He never shows his face. So I don't suggest that anyone gets involved with YouTubers that don't show their face on cachette and have been doing that for a long time. I mean, if they just got here and don't want to show their face because they learned of what's YouTube's really about, that's one thing. But if they've been here for 5-6 years and they still haven't showed their face, man, you don't need to get involved with these people, man. It's just like in real life. If some guy doesn't want to, someone calls you on your phone and doesn't want to give you your name, you just don't talk to them. This is how it is. If someone doesn't want to show you their face, it's because they're gonna come back as another person with the same face that you didn't see. So yeah, basically the Russian bot's selling T-shirts. And what happens now is he gets featured in MSN News, the mainstream news, and they say conspiracy theorists, Lift the Veil channel, who covered this scenario, and they cover something like Cappy, promoted Mr. Cappy as real, and he sells T-shirts, and then they just make everyone on YouTube look like a buffoon that are here trying to market bullshit to sell T-shirts. And then as the news comes on YouTube, well, they don't sell no T-shirts. And they're going to look real smart because they got advertisers that pay them to make a lot of money. And people don't troll the news that they're making a lot of money. You see how that works? So the news is allowed to advertise shamelessly. And then if people advertise shamelessly, they get called out. That's why it's not... As people started monetizing, they were just opening the door for the news. That Google doesn't really want or care if you're monetized, but they do care that the news can be accepted on this platform as a monetized service. And that's where you saw the development and how now YouTube is a TV network. And that's what you got, man. That's what monetization only brought you competition that you can't compete against. Because it's not like the website said, oh no, we just want the YouTube to stay you for him and them. No, the YouTube was purchased by Google, and Google said to the TV, well, we're going to get you your viewers back, but we want a percentage of all your money. And then the TV said, okay, massa, yes, sir. And then over 2 years, they introduced the TV back. And UFC was the precursor to the TV on YouTube. And if you go back and look at their videos, you'll see that the UFC came out on YouTube, and then a year later, the TV came out on YouTube. And don't think that all these UFC stars that have channels on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube are just famous by accident. And it's not the websites that are promoting them. The bread and circus of today's day and age, men and women that punch each other out, women especially. And yeah, and they promote them as just authentic, the fiber of YouTube, just growing naturally. Everyone wants to know about UFC. And the reality is that UFC paid YouTube, and YouTube made them into YouTube stars. And they did the same to Twitter, and they did the same over at Facebook. And that if you're in the UFC and you start a channel, well, it's a real channel, man, with a check and all that, man, with no time at all. And that's the difference between these paid players on you know, what is basically a monetized platform, and the actual authentic real people that came here and were here before it's monetized and actually saw the whole development. Yeah, you see, so Crenshaw lost a channel, and with respect to the Parkland shooting, where that stupid kid there is in Florida, and his mother this, and his mother was a French woman. As soon as the mother turned out to be some French chick from Quebec, I knew it was a LARP. I mean, that French kids from French girls, women from Quebec are not adopting kids and friggin' going. This does not even sound like a real story. And when I heard her accent and this Cruz kid, he don't have no I mean, no, man. That French woman lives in Quebec, man. She got a French accent. She ain't no American. She ain't living in Florida. That whole story sounds like BS. But I didn't cover it. And you can see, Crenshaw, that's where the TWOOF movement leaked over into your shit, because it's from Florida. And Florida, you know, there's probably a lot of people from Florida that actually, you know, you talk, because it's a vibrant inner city market, Florida is, and so is LA, and there's a huge pockets in America of these channels that are coming out of these inner cities, and people's, you know, they all do live stream, they all friggin' I mean, you even have, I'm not even gonna go into what's on live streams now, but yeah. So what happened there, Crenshaw, is that the TWOOF movement leaked over into whatever you were covering, and when you picked up the Parkland school shooting, well, you picked up real trolls like Vice News, like an office of people that work to take down competing channels. So if you're getting traction, they let you go, and they'll even monetize videos. If you know, mirror one of their videos, they'll monetize it on your channel. They're watching all the content that is related to the Parkland shooting, and then as soon as you go south on what they're promoting to go viral, which is that everything's real, as soon as you go south on that, man, oh, they will strike your channel dead. And they want to get rid of all your videos, and they want you to get no more. They don't want you to be the voice out against them. It's very important when they're running these LARPs and these trauma simulation events that the thing can go viral for 7 days. If it doesn't if it only goes viral for 1 day, like Craig Sawyer or VOP, or VOP went viral for less than a day. Craig Sawyer went viral from the June 3rd to June 14th. And then he quit. On June 14th, he quit YouTube and quit trying to go viral on YouTube. But these other big companies like Vice News, when they do trauma simulations events, like that school shooting or the church shooting, I mean, they do not let go, man. They are going viral whether YouTube wants it or not, and they take down channels to make sure that there's not that much competition against them. And that's why I don't cover none of these shootings anymore, because they're all bullshit, and they're all just there to screw up YouTubers. And if you don't cover them, it doesn't get any traction, even if you don't speak out again, and then they make a new one, because it's not getting any traction, and they need to produce the traction for their groups, because they're working as a group, so they all have to know what's coming down the pipe. They can't work independently working for a group. And then I'm over here as the leader of the TOOF movement. What's left of it, it's me and about 3 people. That's all that's left. And basically I'm here like a friggin' shortstop on the Montreal Expos. And as they friggin' ground a ball, lift the veil, tries to strike one out of the park. Obviously it's just a friggin' full-blown strike. And then I just watch who's on lift the veil, and, you know, let's say Cappy will pop up, and then I watch over on, I go tune into Defango once in a while after I see something starting, and I see Defango be like, oh yeah, I should investigate this Cappy thing. And then I know it's 100% a LARP if these 2 clowns are talking about it as the first person. If they're talking about it first on this server, someone paid them to say those things, and it's a LARP, plain and simple. And then when Cappy comes on, he does it to, first of all, he's doing a bunch of Twitter friggin' periscopes where he's hugging his friggin' device and he's kissing his phone. I mean, I've never been so grossed out in my whole life. But he's actually on Lift the Veil's channel saying that he spoke to Cicada Group to come on YouTube. Before he came on YouTube, he was speaking to Thomas from Cicada Group and Liz from Pizzagate. And that just shows you that Liz from Pizzagate is a LARP. Thomas from Cicada Group is basically just a manipulator behind the scenes of everything on YouTube. Anything that can make money, he's trying to make money off of it on YouTube. And they just don't make any content and promote themselves as it's just regular people, but they're not. I mean, I can say that Sophia Music does make music content and does play the piano and record it and then post it as videos, you know. So I mean, I got a musician. I used to have a live musician on my live stream on my original channel. I could get people to play music and post it as videos. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. I'm not on YouTube for that. But Crenshaw, you got caught up. What you got to do is when people come over to you and they start talking about something I'm talking about, you might as well say, well, that probably burnt toast if James is talking about it. And then once it gets to you, you'll be like, you just have to look over the scenario and be, oh yeah, this is where these people are going to freak out and try and take my channel down. And that's why I only have 90 subs, you know, and I've been around since baking soda and friggin' and vinegar to clean your teeth. I don't even know if that's real, but I've been around on this website a long time, and I feel bad for people that get sucked into these LARPs, you know, like that other one where they had that dude in Florida that his friend stabbed him up in the park, and there was no blood at the scene where they found his dead body in a basket, you know, so I guess he stabbed him up and drained his blood and then placed him there. You know, like the crime scene afterwards when they're taking photos with the crime tape and there's a basket where his body was, but there's no blood in the basket and there's no blood around the basket, and the guy, and you know, that story too, that one fell into your side of YouTube as well. And I felt bad for people that started to cover it. And my buddy that drew me in with those stories was, like I said, Tachyon Time Warp. And they took down his channels, and I think he's quit YouTube. You know, he just doesn't come back. Because that's what they do, is they take down your channels, and then slowly but surely you put in a lot of effort, and then you give up. You know, you just don't want to do it again. And they're expecting that. You know, I'm just a weird person. I just keep coming back for more. But the average person don't come back for more after losing, you know, like a couple 100 hours of YouTube time. They're gone, man. I mean, I've already lost 2,000 videos. Like over, I guess a video's 10 minutes. So 2,000 by 6. So, you know, 300 hours of YouTube just in 2,000 videos of just video time. So obviously it's taking time, and it's like, and that's what they do. And then they don't let you make money. They don't let you monetize, because if they see you're monetized, they attack your channel. And then slowly you give up on YouTube, and then they win, and they just keep promoting their bullshit to new kids. Jacob Fam? No, I've never heard of them, and it sounds like it's, if they already got a hashtag, it ain't looking good. Baking soda and peroxide. Yeah, it's not vinegar, it's peroxide. That's it. And yeah, I don't know if it's a tooth whitener or if it's good as lava for your fake volcanoes that you make, but it's not really good to use acids on your teeth. So vinegar is probably not good. I know some people use baking soda and lemon, but it's very acidic, so you got to be careful with that. What? You did a live with Tachyon recently? Give me a break. Are you serious? Frig, I thought the guy was off YouTube. That's fantastic news. Yeah, he's one of my original channels. He's a pretty decent guy. He's very level-headed. He's an engineer, so the way he describes things is very easy to follow. And he's a bit like me. He'll point out the discrepancies in their story that don't allow it to be a real story in real life, that it makes it into a fable, you know, and that you basically got to imagine for this stuff to be true. I mean, it can't really be true once you're done with the imagining part. Yeah, Joe Brown, don't worry about Crenshaw, man. Don't get too excited, man. I already told her not to friggin' take too much advice from you. So don't go sub her channel and start harassing that girl, or it's going to be a problem for me to have you even in my chats, brother. So just, you know, if you want to make friends with these people, man, and you want to promote yourself in my chats, man, you're going to have to go away from 153 News, man. You're going to have to put an avatar. You're going to have to come back on YouTube, show your face, and then you can speak out about whatever you want as a real person. But otherwise, if I see you, I mean, I don't want to see you proliferating your sickness under my videos, brother. So as far as I'm concerned, 153 News, Jason Boss, is a scourge on YouTube. So don't tell him I said that, and don't worry about it. I still like you, but I don't approve of convincing YouTubers, toofers, to go on these private websites, Steam It, D-Live, all these friggin' CIA set up sites, where all they're gonna do is give you fake views, and your video is not going to be seen. When they don't want a video that you make to be seen, they will not show it to anybody. They will just give you views, and you'll think everyone's watching your video, and your heart will be content. You'll be over there on 153 News with just Jason Boss watching your videos and making reports, okay? And you'll get 250 views. You'll get 500 views. Maybe they got a view adder that just pretends like people are watching their damn website. And the likelihood of anybody stumbling on 153 News Net and taking anything on that website as real are like, the chances are zero. Why? Well, because Google has already made YouTube into a laughing stock of reality. And you think that you can get people off YouTube to join an independent website. So there's not any normal people. There's only the TWOOF movement on 153. And you think that is going to get any kind of traction with anybody other than people that are already toofus. It ain't, man. And I want you to stop. I want you to stop coming to my videos if you can't be a normal person, if you can't be yourself. You know, you gotta detach from the 153 News if you're gonna hang out around my videos, brother. That's just the cold hard fact. Like, you can't be Monty's friend, and you can't have a channel on 153 News that you're shamelessly promoting under all my videos. Thank you. And I'm not gonna have to tell this to you every time I do a live stream, brother. And I like it that you come to my live streams. You can definitely add in stuff and say this and that. You definitely got to use a disclaimer that I'm shamelessly promoting 153 News and never promote it on my videos. Okay? I'll promote it for you when I see you. I'll tell people what I want them to know about 153 News. And then they can go sign up for 153 News and see if I'm wrong, man. If you don't believe me, go give Jason Boss your details. Go get a channel on the what is it? It's an open platform with no censorship. Meanwhile, you can only post comments if you have an account there, and to get an account you have to give Jason Boss your full name and your friggin' email address. And God forbid if you send that joker an email, he has all your information about every detail about your computer, what computer you're using, where you're using it from, your ISP, your internet service provider, your IP address. He has all these details from just one personal email to him. So if you think you're winning by going over to 153 News and signing up with this dude that was giving out Bibles in Nicaragua, the Jesus LARP, okay, and then he came to YouTube. He went from helping Jesus, came to YouTube. He quit giving out Bibles to help to save the truth movement. And where has the truth movement gone since Jason Boss came here a year and a half ago? Yeah, in the toilet. There ain't nothing good about the truth movement left. And that's why I've taken over, and I've fired everyone, and I've renamed it to the Truth movement. And it's basically just me and 5 guys that I just met 6 weeks ago. You know, FKN Freddy, man, the Scooby Doom squad, and for sure if Tachyon Time Lord comes back, he's an honorary member, okay? And the rest of the clowns on YouTube that pretend like I'm the problem, like China the Three's the problem, and they appreciate Monograph's good work. Well, I don't care about them anyways, man. They're in the truth movement, and it's destroyed. And their leaders led them to nothing, because I'm beating up on one of their leaders almost daily, and the guy is friggin' he's not doing so hot, man. Look, I did this stream and the guy fell asleep. He's been in bed since 4 a.m. over here, and then he's 6:30. He's gonna pop up, man. Saturday morning, he's gonna be parched from drinking too much fuzzy navels, and he's gonna come on YouTube. It's a good thing I don't have a button where I can let him come on live with me, and side by side you'll see me and Old Man Winter and his duck feathered hairdo, and friggin' then you'll know why I keep my hair so nice and clean, man. It's like, you see, I don't even really have to brush this. It looking good. No duck feather. And he's the one that inspired me to make sure every week I cut my hair if I'm going to do live streams. I'm not going to come on here and look like I just got out of bed and I'm wearing a friggin' hospital robe. I swear he came on live, maybe did a video like 4 days ago saying he didn't have no more technology. He was wearing like a white shirt, dress shirt. I mean, he looked like he was just in a hospital. You know, all he was missing was that little thing around his wrist. The rave party band that means that you just got out of the hospital. Meanwhile, DeFango's got 4 or 5 of them from going to friggin' parades. And Illuminati. I mean, imagine the Illuminati is 60. Come on, guys. The Illuminati on YouTube is not real, man. Man, if you call Tachyon, you just tell him that China to 3, man. I've been pumping his friggin' the goodwill of Tachyon Time Lord, Tachyon Time Warp. I still got I still got that video I made of him as an intro with a Rubik's Cube and Tachyon Time Lord and how he likes to solve Rubik's Cubes. And you just tell him that I said hi and I'm looking forward to stumbling on one of his videos. Now that I know he's out, I actually have something to look forward to this weekend. And if anybody, when I find Tachyon Time Lord's channel, I'm going to put a pointer to it so everyone here can find it. Because I'm sure some people don't change that much, you know. And over the years that I knew that guy, all I ever saw was good things. And so, you know, gotta have faith, man. You gotta have faith. There are good people in this world. There are good people on this server. But they're usually being hounded and they're under a lot of pressure, and it's hard to even be nice to them because there's so many trolls that sometimes they don't even know, and they're twisted. They go crazy on everyone. Sometimes I even get like that. Yeah. You tell Tachyon, man. Oh, he's on BitChute. Good, man. Good. So now I know when I go over to BitChute to bust up DeFango and lift the veil that I already got some friends over there. Tell him that when I come to BitChute, he'll notice me because DeFango will be leaving. And all these websites, BitChute, D-Wave, or D-Live, Steemit, this is an evolution of 153 News that's mainstream for everyone. 153 News was like the tester model. And then these other ones, I mean, Amazon, these are big players, man, and they're getting involved to take some of the slack off YouTube, man. That's what their job is. They're getting together with board meetings, and they're like, well, what can we do to help? And YouTube's like, well, we can't handle all these friggin' truthers. All right, we'll bring them over to our websites and shamelessly give them fake views and make them think that they're getting all kinds of friggin' amazing, they're going to save the world from Steemit. And the guy's over here every night in Hoax Wars chat trying to friggin' recruit people out of the TOOF movement to join Steemit. And you know, once you join these websites, it's cool, man. But like I said, money's the root of all evil. And it's not easy as a grown person when you have bills and stuff to say, no, I don't want that money. It's not clean. But once you start taking a little, it's just a little more dirty, just a little bit more, look, and then it just starts flowing, and then you just can't stop, man. You got bills to pay. You're used to the money. And that's how drug dealers get busted, is that they make hella a lot of money, but then they have the lifestyle that's too much money too. And then as soon as any kind of drug stop, man, or anything, any hitch in that parade, well, they're a target for everybody because you're standing out. And so that's how it happens, you know, and it's the same with YouTube. You start with a monetized channel, and it's very difficult to be a good person and have money involved. And so that's why you gotta be forgiving. You gotta let people friggin' come back. You know, if somebody's shamelessly teamed up with Monograph and then realizes after seeing all my videos that it's not a good position, I'll forgive them. I'll forgive them as long as they're not going out belittling, you know, the dead or old people. I'll forgive them. And everything that everyone's done to me in the way of harm, and I could forgive them for everything they've done. None of them have ever even harmed me. I mean, that stuff is bullshit, man. It's my digital personality, you know, harming me online is, I can forgive people for that, but you know, they got to make that effort, man. They got to make that effort. And then if I see you doing unforgivable things to other people, it's likely I won't forgive you for that. So that's the difference, you know. I can forgive you for what you do to me, but let's say if I see someone shamelessly hounding a senior, no matter who it is, and talking about the dead, and using that to make them, to injure them as a person. I'm never gonna forgive you, man. Never. Not in a million freaking years, man. So there are some people on this server that they just better stick to their guns, stick with Monograph. There's 3-4 of you. All of you are going to be leaving YouTube together at the end of this year in December. Mark my words. It'll be a group thing. And ask Pete Santilli, man. Ask Pete Santilli if I lie. Yeah, Crenshaw, they don't attack me. They attack my father. So I have a 70-year-old father that's survived cancer. They got a bunch of websites out on report.com, and basically they slander that, you know, they say that my father molested me, and that all kinds of weird ass stuff, and that he stole money in because he's a real estate broker. So they say that he stole money in some kind of money that was given, some 600. Anyways, they propose all these fantasies to be real, that I'm gay and that me and my father are lovers. The weirdest of anything that you could ever hear out of, and it's part of the the sickness of these people, that these ideas are coming from inside their heads, that they're not real. It's not like they're really discovering anything. They're just dreaming this stuff inside their head, stuff that I would never say about another person. And it's really bad in a worse sense, that my dad actually lost his job in 2000. He survived cancer in 2013, where he had a balloon and they cut off his nose because he had cancer on his nose, some kind of skin cancer. And then they put a balloon here and they blow the skin, you know. And then after they put some kind of machine or machigana here, and then they put the skin over, and then you know, so it's takes a long time, and you walk around with a balloon in your face. And he was taking pictures every day, and he's a very outgoing guy. So actually the hospital that did the surgery and everything on him, they found the story inspirational, so they put it on Facebook from the hospital, you know, that this guy and the whole thing with all his photos. And you know, obviously cancer is really expensive, you know, so he's basically spent all his money surviving cancer. And then these clowns put out all this slander about him because I make videos on YouTube. And then basically in 2000, I think 14 or something, his boss called him into the office and said, what's all this on the internet? And it was with ripoffreports.com, and they let him go, you know. So I think he was working at anyways, I'm not going to give too many details, but obviously you know, they push buttons on me that are never unforgivable, and they've now tried to gaslight people around me to make them believe that I did all these things to myself and my father. And so I'm here, like, you know, first of all, most of the things that they did to me by way of the Illuminati are criminal. So, you know, I'm not just here because I like YouTube. I'm also here because I have, you know, it's just something I have to do, you know, something that I have to see through. And I see that, you know, there's people that join up with the Illuminati and that, you know, talk down about me and this and that, and think he's not such a bad guy and I should put it, you know, like. So I gave him a few chances, you know, that he could take down all that slander and that he could stop and just be a regular person. And that's not what the job of these old guard troll services do. So it's basically, we're at a head-to-head, and he's pretty much losing. And if he pops into the chat, you'll see he's an old YouTuber. He used to be cool on YouTube maybe 5 years ago. And since I've been here pointing out all these friggin' LARPs, and he hasn't been able to get away with him being the the puzzle solver or the savior of YouTube. Well, his stature is devolved to a point where now he's basically a Q-tard. He's one of the people that was pushing Quentin before Q went terminal, which I caused Q to go terminal on May 9th when I caused Defango to basically, I guess he was homeless at that point and he was friggin' terminal and he was suicidal, so I stopped following him and stopped making videos about him because he said he was suicidal on, I think, May 14th or something. But, yeah, Quinn Michaels, they're all famous in my YouTube. Yeah, he's upset that he's played out. He's, yeah, and basically, because I became the sheriff of YouTube and I was clowning him so good, he actually made some kind of a sexually deviant video about him being the sheriff and me being a deputy. But then that didn't work because the next video he came out as what was it? Monty Eastwood. So he gave up the sheriff title, you know, because he recognized that you can't take another guy's idea and make it yours on this web server and claim any type of power from that. So I just clowned him for like 2-3 days straight when he tried to be the sheriff, because I'm already the sheriff. No, Quinn's not a trolling type. Quinn is a harmless dude, man. He's a harmless dude, and he's being taken advantage of by this network of buffoons that used to control some part of the truth movement, and now they're like scrambling around. You know, they're trying to make Quinn relevant. They're trying to make QAnon relevant. They're in there with Corsi, Jason Goodman, Lift the Veil, Defango. They're all pretty much busted. They're all cold busted over here on YouTube. But they don't go away, and that's a good thing for me, is that as I've already busted them all this summer, they're going to be here. Like September is going to start, new school. They're going to come back with a new... They're going to be all excited after getting together in a boardroom. And, oh, we're going to run this LARP next, and it's going to be so great. And then they're just... One of them's going to chirp about anything, and I'm going to know what their next plan is, and I'm going to tell everyone. And then within, you know, a week or 2 weeks, that LARP is going to be belly up, and then they're going to be back in the boardroom. I mean, the beginning of the summer, I was saying, you know, $100 a week. Someone donate $100 a week to China to 3, and I'm going to go over to Periscope. I'm going to buy a bus pass, donations, you know, I'll be on Periscope. I'll be making content on Periscope. Nobody's going to have to see me. And, you know, I made about $400, and then Old Man Winter took down my GoFundMe. So I had to stay. I mean, these people are spending tens of thousands of dollars a week trying to outmaneuver me. I'm telling you, man. And $100 a week, I mean, they should all just pitch in together friggin' 50 cents each a week, man, and just get 10 cents each a week over there, man. STD Reports, man. Tracy Beans, friggin' Farmer Jones, man. Defango, man. Get your friggin' eBay money together. Richie from Boston, man. Sell a bicycle. And send me over to Periscope so I don't have to see any of this madness anymore, man. These LARPs are not working, period. And like I said at the beginning of the summer, I'm going to start training kids to be able to do what I do, which is to not focus on the shooting. Don't worry about this kid shot. Oh yeah, who talked about that first on YouTube? That's who I'm going to cover. Oh, was Lift the Veil? Okay. So how did you find out about this shooting, Lift the Veil? Who told you? Just like Jib Camera, he gave me a video of the tranny in the RV talking about how VOP was real. Yeah, and all I did for 2 weeks was ask Jib Camera how he got the video when he only gave it to me with 6 views. So he's 1 view, 5 views. So you basically got this video. Did Jib Camera make this video? Is my question. Is this a Jib Camera creation? And then they get frazzled, man. They're like, well, what about the video? What about the tranny? What about the guy wearing the garter belt and the friggin' bustier? What about him? Don't you want to know if he's a real tranny or if this is... What about Alex Jones or the CIA involved? And I'm just like, no, Jib, who are you, man? How come you have the... Who are you on YouTube? And that's what I do. And that's why Lift the Veil is going to fail. It's Lift the Fail. F-E-I-L. I've already given him his friggin' name that he's going to take over the BitChute. And eventually, once they control YouTube, they're going to go over and control... They're not even going to try and control these BitChute websites. They're going to give you fake views and ghost ban your shit from anyone seeing it. And they're just going to filter views onto your... How would you know? Like, I know 10 people saw this video because I see them in the chat. So what if YouTube says, yeah, this guy James, yeah, we're going to fix him. And then they're going to take my video and then they just give it 400 views and they let it sit there. Man, I ain't even going to worry about that video. I'm going to make another one. I don't even know who saw it except for the 10 people. And I'm moving on, man. I'm happy. I got 400 views. And that's what they're doing over on 153 News and these other websites. And if they're not doing it yet, that's what their plan is to... they're segregating you away from mainstream media, man. So you can't compete with the news. And if they have to, they will totally remove all these jokers off YouTube completely, man. Completely just remove them. That's why I'm not a joker on YouTube. I'm covering the YouTube jokers and not what they're saying. I'm covering them. And why? How did they get the information, man? We're on YouTube together, man. How come... Like, I called Craig Sawyer 3 times, okay? From the QAnon head office, man. I got it on video. And one day later, Craig Sawyer calls Lift the Veil on live stream. Man, give me a break, man. That ain't how it works. That's not how it works, man. So these people are listening to what I'm doing. And then basically when they see that... Oh, look at that. I got a new subscriber. Wonderful. Oh, and for the last 10 days that I've been doing live streams, I had my subscriber count off. You know, you couldn't see it. So the new subscriber thing wasn't popping up. So, but I did get 90 subscribers in the last 10 days. So that's what these multi-channel networks want, is they want to make sure is they're getting authentic views and not just these purchased viewers and this recommended stuff. I mean, when I go to sleep and YouTube's on, when I wake up, man, they might even have Flat Earth playing. Like, it's all recommended bullshit, man. And then you go back and look at your history, you just watched like 20 videos with 60 million views that are garbage, that are totally nothing you would have seen in real life. And that's what YouTube is, man. It's all bullshit, man. These numbers are fiction in your head. And that's why if you can't... Like me, I know in 5 years, I'm going to go back and watch all these videos, and I'm going to make little videos about all the videos, and I'm going to basically make like a little family tree behind me, and it's going to have all the people that were on YouTube that I was covering, and I'm going to show how they're intricately connected, and maybe by the time they die, I'll know what their net worth was at the time of death, and I'll be able to estimate about how much money they grifted off of the people that they were pretending to be friends with on YouTube. And then the new people that come on YouTube are going to laugh at this old school model of grifting type humans and they're going to have a new way to make money, and maybe everyone will be getting allowance from the government and no one will care. Who knows what's in the future, man? Certainly the people on YouTube that are controlling it now, well, they ain't going to be in control of nothing in the future, man, because that's how the future goes. It's the opposite of now. Or now would still be, I mean, we'd be in the future and people would still be saying it's now. Like if we still had a horse and buggy and there was no internet, well, it wouldn't be any more future along, man. We'd still be saying we're in the same place as 50 years ago. So in 50 years, there's going to be things that everybody that's watching now, including me, can't think about, that don't know what it's going to be. And when that happens, I'm going to friggin' make sure these guys are famous for being LARP scammers. And I'm not going to make them famous. I'm not going to be like STD Reports pretending the guy's a real news channel and he's not just a LARP, not just a shamelessly connected. He's probably in Freedom Network. Okay? STD Reports. Just like, what's his name? PewDiePie. and Pete Santilli. Freedom Network. And Enter the Stars. Freedom Network. And Kay Smalls. Freedom Network. But she quit after one day. You know that these networks have jobs as recruiters. Have jobs offering people can profit from that model doing other things other than creating videos. You realize that, right? You realize that, right? So, yeah, PewDiePie is with Freedom Network. And Freedom Network has pivoted away from paying any taxes. It's not an American company. It's a corporation based out of China, located in Dubai. Suckers. So when he gets all his money, and for whatever reason he can't pay you, the 40,000 YouTube channels that are members of Freedom Network, well, you guys are all going to be gypped, man. He's going to walk away with all your... Because you can't sue no company in China, you freaking idiots. You can't seize anything off of a dude that's in Dubai that pays no tax. You know? And then shamelessly on this server begging for money off of people in this country, man. Making your money off this country, man, and paying nothing back towards it, man. You know, all these people on YouTube, all these YouTube creators, not one drop of healthcare, man. And you know what? This guy that owns Freedom Network, he just took 40,000 people's profits out of the loop as taxable income to the government. So welcome to YouTube, man. And he's going to promote him. So that's his profit this year. He's going to make an extra 15% or 20% by not paying tax. And then when in 2 years, when he's spent more money than he should have, because he's just some dude friggin' where everyone's giving him money, and when he wants to buy a house or something, well, he's going to pull another fucking shameless scam, because that's what scammers do. And he's not going to have any, that 18% that he's not paying in tax, that gobble, just like the drug dealers, man. That money going to be back up in, it's going to be gobbled up into the way that his lifestyle. And God forbid this guy goes bankrupt or doesn't pay you guys, man. You guys, none of you friggin' YouTube creators, man, are going to get paid. You're not going to pay no rent. You're not gonna, and I'm going to be friggin' just going to make a video that says, I told you so, man. Why do you think these people go offshore? Why do you think that they have their company in China? So you can't sue them, man. So why do you think if a guy plans ahead 2, 3, 4, 5 years like that, that he's positioned himself like that? Because he sees himself as a scammer and doesn't want to get caught up, has enough money to protect himself. And mark my words, if a guy that doesn't incorporate in China and move to Dubai, he don't turn around and friggin' scam all the friggin' posers that friggin' look up to him. Mark my words, man. Mark my words. And that's why everyone that's on Freedom Network should have money saved in the bank, enough to pay 2 months rent, and to make, you know, and to wait for Google to start paying you your checks directly once he's gone. 2 months rent, man. God bless Freedom Network. Yeah, well, we are free. If you don't want to pay taxes, call George at Freedom Network. He's trying to get YouTube creators to go over to Dubai. So basically, if you want to spend the money on a ticket, probably, and you have enough money for hotels and stuff, and you make enough money on YouTube, that it's in your best interest that by saving all the money you give your government in tax, if, you know, let's say you make $100,000 in YouTube and you got to give your government $50,000. Well, it's not going to cost you $50,000 to live in Dubai for a year. Maybe it will, but likely it won't. But why not spend it in Dubai and give it to your government in tax? That's what he's going to convince you. Then you're going to get to this godforsaken place. It's a crack in a desert. Friggin' the hottest place in the world, man. You can't even go outside without a friggin' air conditioner. And you're going to realize that you just, it's not even a, it's built in the sand, man. It's a mirage, man. And you're there with a friggin' tax dodger, a tax evading dude. And God forbid he doesn't pay his bill on his hotel or he gets arrested for anything illegal. I mean, you ain't gonna get your money from Freedom Network if the government of Dubai arrests that guy or the government of China seizes his corporation or his bank accounts. Okay? So I'd rather get my checks, if I was getting any, I'd rather get them directly from Satan himself, man. Just write me a check from Google. And thank God I could say to my, I could say that I've never been able to make a dime off YouTube because of Illuminati. And I don't know if that's a good thing for the whole model. The way it's supposed to work is that everyone's supposed to put their hand in a cookie jar and take a little piece, and then they're all part and parcel to the same pathetic lifestyle, and then people just play along. But if you're a troll, man, let the future monographs know that if you're in this position and you see a guy and he's me and he's, and you think that you're gonna friggin' undermine him with some old skill set from, Fortran and Cobalt computer programming days, and friggin' you're gonna break out your DOS handbook and start, if you think you're gonna do all those things, it's just, just watch and learn, man. And I don't think that in 5 years that I'm gonna be able to overwhelm any of the kids coming on YouTube, man. I'm gonna work with those kids, man. I'm gonna send those kids off to clean up the last retirees that haven't friggin' handed back their keys to the hotel. And that's how it's gonna end up. And then there's gonna be like a purge, but it's not gonna be a purge. It's just gonna be like where people on YouTube are not gonna accept, getting information from these older people that are all getting information from themselves, that don't have any type of interesting way to get anything other than a script. I mean, how is a 60-year-old dude supposed to know what the heartbeat of the internet is if nobody's talking to him and nobody friggin' hangs out with him and he doesn't have any friends anymore and all his friends are dead or all his subs passed away? Like, if you had subs 10 years ago and you're 60 and people look up to you who are 60, now they're 72, 70 now. They're gone, man. Those people are gone, man. Those subs are gone. So that's why there's something to be said about showing your face. People really are longing for anyone that speaks and that could speak eloquently and speak their mind and have some kind of a friggin' understanding of what's going on around them. And unfortunately on YouTube, it's so bizarre that it's like, it makes me think of that song by OMG, man. Whenever I think of YouTube, it's like, so, how bizarre, how bizarre. Don't. And that's what YouTube is. It's like, it's a very bizarre place, and the people. Hey, man, and someone will come along and outsmart me, and you know what? I'm gonna friggin' be so proud of that kid, man. When I see a young kid, man, and I see and I'm like, man, and I'm not gonna stick around and try and make him go away. That's the difference between me and Monty, is I'm gonna friggin' embrace that kid, man, and I'm gonna retire, and I'm gonna friggin' close my eyes to this stupid friggin' screen, and don't think that in 10 years that I'm gonna want to do YouTube, and that I'm gonna want to spend. I'm overly immersed in YouTube, man. I could walk away from YouTube, and I've done more YouTube than people that are gonna stay on YouTube for the rest of their lives are gonna do. Don't worry about Dabu7, man. He's not even in, nobody cares about Dabu7. He's gone off into he's like InfoWars, man. He's right hand in hand, man. I don't even get any recommendations from Dabu7 or any of those channels. And, just promoting them, just even saying anything about them, unless it's to clown them, is, I mean, I don't even know. If you're being recommended those things and you're seeing those videos, your people on your friends list, Joe Brown, are liking his videos. And so that's what you're getting, man. And I never get recommended. If I get recommended Dabu7, man, I'm looking at who's subscribed to me recently, man, and I'm asking them to unsub. And trust me, it's probably Tachyon Time Lord that cross-covering into the Kajenka stuff that allowed me, through his recommendations, that ended up making me know people over there. And that's how YouTube plays you out with your friends and makes all, and they own the algorithm, man. They can send in Flat Earth to your channel directly. They know who these squads are. They can recommend your shit on all their dashboards if they want. So the level that Google can manipulate its own website is not even available to anyone. It's only available to Google, and they don't use it. Do you know what I'm saying? The future of Google is unlimited, and what they're showing you is only the tip of the iceberg. And they're keeping you at bay from what they can fully do. And just like Facebook, where nobody's signing up for it, man. I went to my country club, and there's a sign up that any member posting any photo onto social media will have their membership revoked. I mean, it's $12,000 a year to have a membership there. And they give you back your money and revoke your membership, man. They don't want your ass in the club, period. And that's how toxic Facebook is, man. They don't even want you taking a picture of the friggin' men's room. That's how toxic Facebook is, man. Did you know that Facebook and Google are selling words? Google sells words. Like, YouTube's just one part of the Google satanic money machine. And there are people smart enough on Google to be buying words and to be using YouTube. And to have all that linked in with their AdWords program. And it's easy to make money off YouTube if you give money to Google. And that's what you're seeing, man. And don't think at a multi-channel network level, these multi-channel network promoters, the owners, that they don't deal directly with Google. And that when they're setting up great ideas that, you know, something that a whole bunch of people can work towards, that don't think that when they get involved at a multi-channel network level, that there's not a person from YouTube involved and there's not a person from Google involved. And that the multi-channel network person is directly involved with actual people working with Google and YouTube to promote ideas that are going to be beneficial to Google, period. And Google has annual events, picnics, friendly meetings in every different city. They have offices in every city for YouTube creators with over 100,000 subs to go to and hang out and create content and have sound rooms and anything you want, man. As long as you're going to make Google more money, they're going to friggin' support you. So just think about all those things. And Crenshaw, man, don't stay up all night watching YouTube, man. We need our beauty sleep over there. You're the beauty capital of YouTube at the moment. So please, this is the last video of the evening. And I hope you get 2 or 3 good people. But check the latest people that subscribe to you after your video. If you see Joe Brown in there, with a grain of salt, my dear, with a grain of salt. And he's not the worst. I mean, if you see Illuminati, man, you got problems. Joe Brown is not the worst, but I like to make sure that when people are coming out around me, I am nice to some people, and that they don't believe that I'm endorsing these people. There's only so much hatred I can spew out to avatars. These people are not even presenting their real bodies to me. Other than Monty, I have not seen most people's human body on this website, and I can't comment to it. But the ones that I have, man, they're brave souls, especially after all that I've learned and seen. And Cheesy, True Seeker, man, you must be in America, baby. He's just getting up, and the friggin' the stream is just getting over because we're trying to avoid Monty. And he only made it to the first half hour of my screen, and then I guess he took his meds and he went to bed. So, Cheesy, good thing you can watch the stream in about for every minute of the stream, so if the stream is 4 hours, it's going to take about an hour for the chat, the live chat, to upload with the stream. But so if you're watching it and you don't see the live chat, you can pause for, you know, an hour or so, or have breakfast, or go do something, go on out and take care of one of your chores, come back 2 hours later, and then you'll see the live chat will be in with the actual video. Because what's happened is this is a new thing that YouTube is introducing, and during the processing phase, they upload the video first, and then they process the second window, the chat window, and they bring it back in, and they put a button on their channel. But this is all a secondary function of the upload. So the processing of the video happens in 2 parts now, and the first part of the live stream is the actual video and the speech, and the second part is so if you don't see the chat will be available usually 2 minutes for every minute of the upload. Unless the video is over an hour, it takes about an hour for the chat to upload alongside the video. Sometimes 2. Like if it's a 4-hour video, it might take 2 hours. So yeah, you missed the beginning of the stream. We are free, and so did Cheesy Truth. And I'm trying to do that. It's not because I don't love you guys. It's because I can't do live streams and talk about things I want to talk about if I have hardcore trolls like Laz, the Mexican friggin' cherry farmer, and Gandalf, the friggin' great friggin' LARP friggin' specialist. I just can't do it, man. And Monty coming in talking about, you know, sexually deviant friggin' stuff that really makes me not even like humans anymore. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is for the rest of this month, I'm gonna be doing live streams between usually 3:30 a.m. but 5 a.m. If Monty comes in at 3:30, I'm gonna postpone it till 5. You guys will all be able to watch it during the day, and in September, I'm gonna pivot away from the YouTube truth movement, because it's friggin' dead and buried, man. I don't even want to hear any of these fucking shooting stories. Not one, man. I don't want to hear from any of the people that promoted any of the Q, Cicada, or any of the shooting stories. So that's everybody in truth movement. I don't even want to watch videos of people talking about it, because all they're doing is promoting the whole bullshit. So I'm just going to figure something else out to do. I think I'm going to make a channel, you know, married on YouTube, and I'm just going to go around YouTube and see who's getting married, and then I'm going to try and see if I can feature the both people and see what kind of weirdness this is, getting married on YouTube. And maybe, yeah, like Gandalf never really watched Laz's videos for his whole life, but obviously, when I, you know, spoke out about Laz says, oh, and what, Gandalf now, he's also, because Laz is, you know, he's hurting as a creator to create a tsunami against me. He's going to be a hurting scenario, but I don't know, because apparently last night, somebody, was it you? We are free. You can say, remember last night you came to one of my videos and you were like, hey, Laz is on RV channel and he's over there with friggin' Gandalf. You should get over there. And I was like, it's good for them, man. And you know what? Those 3 all together ain't nothing on YouTube. Nobody want to watch their content, man. They all garbage. And let them friggin' talk about me while I sleep, so that when I wake up, everyone of them will be burnt out and they won't be able to troll me. And I didn't even go over, we are free, I didn't even go over to make a comment. I didn't even go. And the reason why is because I'm trying to show people that, you know, I don't do what Monograph does. Like, I may make one clowning comment, or I've done clowning comments over on Lift the Veil, but that's not, you know, my plan is not to just go and be someone's nemesis and ruin all their shit and ruin their I can make videos, man. Let a person do their live stream. It's hard enough to do a live stream. They don't need someone in the chat to try and disrupt them. And what I'm saying is real. I believe it deep down in my heart. I'm helping people, and I believe people will see that. no matter what people are saying against me. And that's why I stand side by side by the Illuminati, man. I break his friggin' chess piece, king off the chessboard. I turned it into a queen on June 2nd when he quit friggin' the TWOOF movement. Or was it July 2nd? Right after July 4th, man, that guy did a video, I think it was on July 4th. These are the reasons I'm quitting the TWOOF movement. Too much of that clicky stuff, man. Go back and watch my videos from July 1st to July 4th. And you'll see, you know, why I have no fear speaking, showing my face, standing beside any of these men. And you're going to just make your own judgment. Look at all my 5 years of videos and look at their cute-hearted friggin' roster of fucking clown shows that they put out. Just remember, Gandalf LARPs as a flat earth channel and promotes other people to do it. Laz quit the TWOOF movement and became a bonsai channel. Ever since I got to YouTube, I've been China to 3. Ever since I friggin' told Pete Santilli where to go, I ain't changed not one bit, man. They all changing around me and trying to incorporate me into their story and say that I'm working with them. Hell, Illuminati's even saying that I'm part of his squad. And Laz too. That's Laz's thing, that me and the Illuminati are working together. That's his LARP. These people, man, I bet you if I go over to their video that he got more views on that RV video with discussing China to 3 than he got on any of the other videos of the content that he dreamed up on his own, because people don't want to know about their content. People want to know about who's going to take down China to 3. So let them all come, man. It's just going to put more attention on the Illuminati and Donna and that other fraud squad of criminals. And in the end, I'm going to look beautiful when I leave this website, man. I'm going to look like a guy that never broke any laws, and if I did, these clowns would have already sent the police. So don't worry, man. China to 3 is not doing anything against terms of service. And, man, this is one of the greatest streams ever, because 3 or 4 people woke up and said, yo, I just woke up. I missed the stream. And, you know, it's not on purpose. I wish those people could have been here. But it's for the 10 other people that are just waking up now, yo. And they're all like and they're like, frig, if James has been on, China to 3. And then they're going to have to watch like 4 hours of video just to see if I said their name. You know, my videos come up without titles now. And I get like 400 views by the middle of the afternoon. So, it ain't me watching it 400 times while I'm sleeping. That's all I want to say. And subscribe. Well, I'm only subscribed to my channel, please, when I'm live. That way we can see the little man run across, and it really makes me feel good. It's better than money, since I never get any money from YouTube, and I really could never plan around that anyways. I get happiness from YouTube from stupid stuff like that, and seeing someone else that quits YouTube and says, you know what, I had enough of this and I'm not even coming back here, man. I friggin' feel like a saint. I mean, I might even make the saint of YouTube channel, and then on a back wall, I'll make another room in my house. I'll put a back wall with all the people that quit YouTube one after the other. You know, I'll have friggin' the saint of YouTube, man. Imagine that, a wall of old YouTube creators, and now they're no longer. It'd be friggin' amazing, man. And if anybody wants to check while they're watching the video, the candle has been a time-lapse addition to this video broadcast. And the candle, you can watch, it's going down as the video. So that's 4 hours of is a half a candle, folks. Thank you, and have a great day. And remember, you can be nice to the people in the chat, but Joe Brown, he's over on 153 News, and if he promotes that to you, well, don't go there. Hey, Rob, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Look, everybody in America's rise and shine, cock-a-doodle-doo. Go out on the internet, do good, try and love everybody, and try and stay away from these haters and these hateful people and the people at the center of YouTube that have turned it into basically a Gestapo, and it's toxic for anybody that just wants to be a decent person. Thanks, Joe. I do recognize that you are kind to me, man, and you're not a bad person in my eyes for just simply promoting 153 or 154 news or whatever it is. I just keep people in the understanding because of the nature of the website. But you're quite a decent person, man. You never really said anything to me that made me say, man, this guy has a problem. So cheers to that, man. And you know what? You could always promote another website. You could always promote anything. And you know what? I wouldn't have a problem with you at all, because the only problem I have with you basically now, it's not even really a problem. It's just the 153 news is a joke. It's not your fault, brother. We all got to get paid. Have a good night, yo. Yeah, we could talk, man, but make sure it's in public so that people don't think that, like the Gandalf thing, where people want to talk to me in private, and then it just looks like I'm part of your squad. I'm not interested, man. I just say it, man, and make a video, man, and put my name in, and I'll watch the video, and I'll respond in a video. I got nothing to hide on YouTube. I didn't come here to make a career out of YouTube, and I ain't getting involved with none of these people that are. Thanks for watching.